414 stand up. Black Milwaukee stand up. Foundational Black America stand up. Welcome to Outlaw Radio on a Monday evening. A very nice, what I would call mild fall evening. Autumn is my favorite season, y'all. My name is Kevin Barnes. I'm the host of Outlaw Radio and the architect of the People's Network, as well as the People's News Network. I'm known in some circles as the world-class smartass, militant with a microphone, a.k.a. the Negro Whisperer. Certified professional life coach, Negro Whisperer. What it do? What it do? Back to talk some shit. It's live from the basement, and it's always an open microphone, more so on Mondays. So whatever y'all want to talk about, please contribute. There's a phone number. It's 262-202-5131, right on the bottom of the screen. And our chat room pops always, as you can see, early and often. Dion already in the chat room tomorrow. Where's everybody? We hadn't even started. Right? But welcome to the show. Share the show, share the show, share the show. There's a lot to talk about. And I don't know if you know it or not. There'll be some things discussed that you probably know a lot about. In that case, contribute. There may be some things discussed that you don't know shit about. In that case, sit back and listen. Witch Doctor, what it do, man?
Hey. What's happening, y'all? Welcome to Outlaw Radio. Where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk. Raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture, teacher, hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor. Hey, mama, that goes man. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, I'm also the one who has House of Vitality. I know you heard about it. If you ain't been there, get there. Come on in, y'all.
It's necessary. It's necessary. It's necessary to support black business. It's necessary for us as foundational black Americans to support each other. There's no amount of times, like it's something what they say, you can't quantify it, how important it is that we support each other. Ace Cooley, I see you in the chat room. He said, what it do, fellas? My brother, how you doing, man? Known Ace a very long time.
Hey,
right, that's the family,
I told you
right?
I was just like, I thought you was on the road, cuz. How you on the show too?
He's somewhere posted up, Kamar. he rocking with us. He rocking with us. Hey, y'all call in, man. Represent, man. Y'all represent. Erica Hunt, what to do, Erica? She said, what up, Outlaws? Erica out here living her best life. She all over Facebook at a event. Jeff Crape, my Milltown family down in Texas. A lot of us have relocated. Of course, even like he walks out in Arizona, he calls. Jeff is down in Texas, grew up around the corner from me. Capitol Drive, stand up. Dion said, you late as a fuck. According to who? There's no clock to punch. When I walk in this studio, I don't see no clock to punch, right? Like it's based on my timer. A said he's on the road, man. He said he's on the road, Kamar, so he is in motion. Ace, man, you get here next time, man. You gotta holler at your mans. You text me, you call me. We done spoke a million times. And you come to my city and you don't see me? What kind of shit is that? Oh my goodness. Hey, Mondays and Wednesdays we're on 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Mondays and Wednesdays. People keep saying to me, Kev, when does your show come on? Come on, we've been doing this 10 years. And I know I've been in this slot for at least 5 on Mondays and Wednesdays. People still say, when does the show come on? Clearly, y'all don't fucking pay attention. Come on, man. Stop being remedial. Come on, man. Focus, man. Get your shit together. Mondays and Wednesdays, y'all. Come slide with us. Come ride with us. We just get together and talk about, people, like I say, people say, you got a podcast? What it's about? It's about black people. What you talk about? Black people stuff. That's what you do on the show. That's how you explain it. So share it. Believe me, we need the numbers. Seeing whackness get a lot of fucking spins, and I'll be like, wow, it's crazy. Our numbers should be way higher, but some of that's on me, y'all, so I apologize. Erica Hunt said, am I ready for this election? I absolutely, positively am. And that's what we're gonna lead the show off tonight. Actually, speaking about is, like I said last week, what we're a week away. It's go time. All the commercials, all of the hype, all of the internet videos, the YouTube videos, the TikToks, and all that shit is about to be out the window. Now it's time to either go to the booth and vote early, vote by mail, or shut the fuck up. That's it.
Nigga.
Right. I don't want to stop telling me she ain't black. She sent niggas to jail.
It don't even matter no more. Just go vote.
Trump gonna do 2025.
That's fine.
Just go vote. Vote now or forever hold your peace. Now I do want to ask, what are we looking at? What are the optics here? Honestly, because what's at stake? I'm going to break down why I said that. What's at stake? And just like damn near everything else that's regurgitated now in the mainstream media, we already done talked about this. So it's just going to be a rehashing of sorts. I encourage y'all, if y'all have seen something going on around the country, you've seen some pertinent premium black news, please represent. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that too, because I can't see everything. And so I talk about the things that I pay attention to. Eric said, that's right, vote or shut up. Ewok, just like I said, out in Arizona by way of Milwaukee. He said, what up, players? It's all love, man. If you grew up in the mill, if you from the 414 and you've moved on and you found a bigger and a better thing, share it. Don't hide that shit. Divide that shit. What you sitting on it for? Let's talk about it. Talk about how you found prosperity. That's all part of this. So share the show, man. Y'all jump on in with Outlaw Radio. So, okay, so let's look at this election, Kamar.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's in this election, the unique aspect of this, and a lot of people think it's about race, and it's really not. There are some racial connotations, obviously, because Trump is a racist, and the people who support him and surround him are racist. We'll get to this Klan rally they just had in Pennsylvania, in which all his people came up and did the worst of race jokes and talked about carving watermelons, and this is to the black dude who was there. They like literally ribbing on him like they stand-up comedians. You know, shit was crazy. So we know he is a racist, but is this election really about, because I keep hearing people say this is about saving the democracy, which makes this bigger than whether Kamala is black or not. Is this about saving the democracy as we know it, Kamar? Is that what this election really comes down to?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think it's about saving democracy, because, again, whatever the agenda they got planned is going to get pushed, right? You know what I mean? Whoever's in office, the plan is the plan. But I think that's the feeling that you get. You know what I mean? I think more so that's the feeling, that how you feel, how they make you feel. Because Trump talking about this is what we gonna do if I'm president. You ain't got to vote no more. You know what I'm saying? So they give you that vibe. I think I might be a conspiracy theorist on this one, but I just think they fear mongering with that, and it's making us feel like that.
Well, the reason why I feel like this is pertinent to the conversation, or relevant to the conversation,
is
that Trump kind of represents kind of like an anti-establishment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people like really look at him as if he's some sort of rebel, or he's this like real outside the box thinker who bucks the tradition and this kind of thing. But the reality is he is a man who has enjoyed the American system. That's why he's rich. He's profited off of it. You know what I'm saying? So he's not anti-establishment. He is part of the establishment. But people feel like, and so then there's the people, like you said, I like the fact that you brought up fear mongering, because there are people who are saying, no, he's going to strip down the government, he's going to take all the rights of this, that, and the third away. That's why I'm saying a lot of people feel like, well, if Trump gets elected, he's going to destroy our democracy as we know it. Other people are like, no, we got a good system. We need to keep operating like this. So we're going to vote for Kamala because she's going to be status quo. She's going to toe the line for how things exist today. Of course, you know, she's going to make campaign promises and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But there's this, okay, the system as it exists, and then the possibility that Trump will come in and represent some kind of, I'm busting this system up, is going to be a whole new day. I think a lot of people feel that way. Like this is finally where the old system is just destroyed, and people are scared of that. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of people look at this election like the state of our democracy as we know it is at stake. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe some people don't feel like that, but I've heard a lot of people say that. Like Dion calls in on the show, he said that a million times. Like this is really, it's really not about Kamala. It's really about just not allowing Trump to come in and fuck this thing up worse than it actually is. Because I see a lot of people who support black people. Let's talk about black people who support Trump. And I've tried to find the appeal. Okay. When somebody is continuously saying and moving in a racist manner, being down with people who are racist, who say racist things, and there's still a lot of black people who be like, we like him. Somebody please call in. Please explain this. So let's talk about that. Come on. Let's ask black people to explain their love for Donald Trump. Can we just? I don't.
Hey, they're gonna tell you, well, I don't love Donald Trump. I don't do it because I love Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna give you some bullshit rhetoric.
Well, first of all, let me say it's fine if you are going to support Trump. I mean, I think that's what probably will differ our platform from others, because we hear every side of the conversation, right? So if that's how you feel, that's fine. I just want you to be able to articulate to me what you, as a foundational Black American, like about Donald Trump.
I like how he gave us them checks last time.
Stop. That was just debunked. That was just debunked by Obama today. Donald Trump put his name on the check.
That's it.
He held it up. He actually held it up. And because it was promised under Obama's administration, Obama inherited one that he gave away from who was president before him, Bush. So they
I remember that.
Well, it was three presidents in a row, and then you got one during COVID. Okay, and Obama talked about that today. Not that I'm the biggest Obama supporter, but he talked about the fact that no, we all gave out checks. He's the only one who held the check up to put his name on it. He didn't give you a check. It was coming anyways.
That's what it felt like. So I fuck with him because of that. And that's the type of things you're gonna hear. Kev, that wasn't me. That wasn't my speaking. But
that's cool. It's cool. And I would say to that person, okay, I'm telling you, and you can go and research this. He's not the reason you got that check. He just put his name on it.
Well, he's a businessman. You know what I'm saying? They don't do. He's a businessman, and they're not. Okay.
Which helps us how? Which benefits us how?
Well, this is what the people be saying. I ain't got all they points.
I know
that's what they be saying. Like I ain't got the points.
You playing devil's advocate, so I'm giving it to you.
Well, because he didn't have the business in the Trump Towers, and he goes overseas. He be talking to the people. He be handling business. I don't know what y'all be talking about. The other presidents don't handle business like that.
Going overseas talking to the people. Please never say that out loud in front of a bunch of people who are literate. You literally sound like you in 5th grade.
That's what they gonna say.
Not you, but I'm saying the individual who would say that. He'd be going overseas and he'd be talking to the people.
Yeah, you know, Putin them. He be talking to him. You know?
And you like Putin? Why?
Right.
Why do you like Russia?
He keeping us on good terms with people now. He trying to get the immigrants out. You know, he want to keep them out. Kamala don't.
Lord have mercy. Let me get. By the way, welcome to the show, Courtney. Welcome to the show.
I just voted.
All right. That's what we talking about.
I just voted.
You just said that. Either vote or shut the fuck up. That's what we just said. So you can keep talking now. You voted. This is E Walk out in Arizona. He said, "What up, players?" Alicia Mullen said, "Where the hell y'all been? Mondays and Wednesdays. We all over the place like bird shit. if we miss one day, we'll, we've been here, Alicia. You just ain't been paying attention. You got to get your antennas up.
Yeah, y'all been
Got to
here.
get your antennas up. Ewok said it's not fear mongering when Trump lets you know he wants to be like dictators daily.
I mean, it's the same. I say that because you know what I mean. We hear all the time.
Hold on, let me finish reading his comment.
Oh yeah. Okay, my bad.
He said it's not a conspiracy if he's saying it. As far as changing things, he's already banned abortions and he's looking to take away more rights. He's doing it right in front of you. Go ahead, Kamar.
No, it's all good. I was just saying, you know what I mean? Politicians say shit. And then we talk about how they don't do the shit that they say.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I really feel like it's a lot of shit that he's saying that he really ain't going to be able to do. It's just to get more supporters, more people to come out and vote who think like he do. You know what I mean? And then really to have us riled up, to scare us and shit, have us scared. Like, that's one of their main things is to have, that's how they keep us controlled and shit.
Why is it that us as a people, we as people don't go research the other people running for president? Because I mean, motherfuckers be acting like it's only Kamala and Trump. It's other motherfuckers running.
Let's dismiss that too, because the reality of it is Cornel West ain't getting no. He has a snowball's chance in hell. Let's keep this adult. Let's talk about
the snowball chance in hell.
Cornel West.
I just voted for Dr. Cornel West. I don't know what you're talking about.
You are the anomaly.
We voted for Dr. Cornel West.
You're the exception to the rule. Well, I tell you what, Courtney. Let's look at how many votes total he got when this election's over.
I can't wait. Voting for him.
Okay, well, you got two.
He got two.
Yeah, I know his mama voting for him, right?
Yeah, you know his mama voting for him.
Right, he got three, right? All the sisters at the church, all the mothers at the church, right? You might get 35, 40 votes. Alicia said them checks she said them checks for systemized folks. Well, first of all, let me ask you this about the check that people are saying felt so good. I don't even remember getting it. Couldn't even tell you what I spent it on. Because first of all, I believe with the last round of checks, you could either choose to have taxes taken out of them and it would have been less, or you pay that difference on your taxes. I believe I paid the difference on my taxes. It might have been a new gun or something. It wasn't like no mortgage payment, or like I might have bought an RC or something, or some Jordans or something for my son. It wasn't no payday like that. So I don't know why black people just like check where check it. It's like, damn, man.
It was a decent check, man. Look, I think I went to like Dubai or something off that check. I went on the whole trip. I was kicking it. I got a couple kids, so I got a nice amount.
But it wasn't. But once again, I want to remind you that check didn't come from Trump. People act like he wrote it out of his bank account. Trump gave him some money.
His name was on it, kid.
Whatever you got, it was taxpayer money in the first place, because that's the only way they get money from the government, right? Allegedly, unless they still selling dope. Jeff Crape says that the Democratic House gave the check. Absolutely. Alicia said, she said, try I statement. Alicia, I'm getting a little, I'm throwed, as they say in Texas. Try I statement. Okay, let's see. And I thought I had, okay, I got new comments. Oh man, damn, I didn't know I was this far behind, man. Messing around with Courtney now. Courtney playing devil's advocate and shit. Talking about he be going, what she say, he be going
talking to them people now.
He be going on the road talking to people.
Yeah.
And somebody ignorant when they say and shit to end the sentence. He be talking to people and shit. Right? John Fletcher said, what up, Outlaw family? Lay it down. Let's go. There you go. That's what's up, John Fletcher. John Fletcher's website is still scrolling across the bottom of my screen, too.
What it do, Fletch?
Hey, Fletch.
Yeah, I had a flash with my mic. I'm on it.
Hey, man, what the hell?
I thought you muted or something. I know what I mean. Froze. You know, breeze and
soon as my shit glitch, everybody got an issue. Niggas be on here froze, sounding like they in auto tune, all kinds of shit. I never said a word.
It'd be like, what the fuck going
on? Right. Kev can't have no issue, right? Mariah Johnson, how you doing, cousin? How you doing tonight, family? Just talked to Bose the other day. Just right outside in front of your mom's house. Just chopped up with Bose. She said, this is my type of topic. I hope so. See, a lot of people don't want to talk. And this is what's we can't hardly even have these conversations safely because it ends up with somebody saying some shit and they just so misinformed and so like they just regurgitating little snippets that they seen, and you be wanting to correct them, but you be like, I'm gonna have to fight this motherfucker. Because basically everything he just said for the last 5-15 minutes is bullshit. And when I show him he wrong, the only thing he gonna be able to say, but I whoop your ass though. And so you be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep it moving. Ewok said court just helped Trump. Scott Epicet is in the chat room, said, Courtney, thank you for voting for Wes. XOXO. Yeah, because that's one less vote for Kamala. So his boy Trump will win. Epicet's a Trump supporter, y'all. Y'all better know about it. Courtney's finna get excited. See?
I'm excited about Cornel West. That's what I'm excited about.
Right. Oh, shit. Let's go, Cornell. And then when he get to be president, we'll all have mandatory vaccinations. So I hope you're ready to get the jug.
Well, you should have been telling us about him instead of just talking about Trump and Kamala. You should have
Courtney,
everybody.
We've talked about this at great lengths about him being pro-vax.
I think I missed them.
Anybody else? You clearly weren't paying attention because we talked about it at least 9 times. I'm willing to put money on the fact that we talked about it like 9 times.
Well, my co-star said they
just said it last week.
We definitely talked about it.
My co-stars with it too.
All right.
We definitely talk about it.
Hey, shit, they all down with it. Trump had the fast track shit, and then all the Democratic states was making motherfuckers get vaccine passports. So shit, they all down with it except Robert F. Kennedy.
Well, I tell you what. But he's a black man. That changes things. He's a black man. I mean, because I feel like if a black man is trying to sell us on this, it's akin to the Tuskegee experiments. Go to a HBCU. Why? So I can get gonorrhea experimentally? Come on, man. Let me get to Dion. I know I'm being cynical, Railroad. Well, like you, I thought you liked black people, man. What the fuck?
Oh, wow. Well, technically, we didn't have to get those COVID shots. You know, now if your job requires you to have one, then hey. You know, a lot of places' job requires them to have one.
That's
right. My job didn't require me to have one. So the thing is, I heard Courtney talking about she voted for Cornel West, and then she bragged about she had children and she accepted those child tax credits. You know, like why would you take the child tax credits? That was something Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did with the Recovery Act. So you're gonna vote for somebody that ain't held no way. Hold on. You don't have to argue. I'm just saying. You know, that's just like I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, Kev. We talked about that person. I'm not going to say his name, but you know who I was talking about. And he kept calling me. So I finally took his phone call. And I asked him, I said, I heard you say something about you had children. Do you receive any type of government benefit? Well, yes, I do. I hope you ain't receiving the AA, you know, the Obamacare, whatever they call it. You know, oh, yes, I do. Why are you receiving these government assistance when you a Trump supporter? Tell them people you don't want this. See, that's the part that kill me with people. They so quick to have the handout, but the people that's willing to give it to you, see, there's a difference with me. I have set up there read Project 2025. I haven't read all 900 pages, but I read a lot of pages. It says in the Department of Education, they want to eliminate that. SNAP benefits gone. Equal opportunity, goodbye. You understand what I'm saying? So, Courtney, while you think you could compete with a man, they gonna look at you like you less than you a woman and you a black woman at that. So the EEOC that you could be trying to be protected by with your employer, gut it. Anything that gets to do with diversity, inclusion, gut it. You understand? FHA loans, gut it. You understand what I'm saying? See, that's the whole thing that people, I'm gonna go do this and I'm gonna go do that. But you haven't sat down like you guys just said and did the research. Kev, you know I do that shit quick. Boom, here go. I got it on my Project 2025. Matter of fact, it says the mandate for leadership, and it's conservative. It's about conservatism, preserving America's, and they say democracy, but to me it doesn't sound like that because what they're trying to do, they're trying to alleviate a lot of these extended government agencies and put the sole power into the president's hand. Whoever they do say Donald Trump, But every now and then they say whoever the president might be. So that doesn't mean they're going to stop this year. They pushing for that. You understand what I'm saying? So when people be like, well, I'm not going to do this. See, that's the only, because you know I never voted a day in my life. But when I started reading this Project 25, the Mandate for Leadership, I'm like, oh, this shit, it could be fear-mongering, whatever. But if a motherfucker say they're going to slap you in the mouth, and you be like, oh, that pussy-ass nigga going to slap me in the mouth, whether he don't slap you in the mouth that day, and he sneak up on you years later and slap you in the mouth, he told you he was going to slap you in the mouth. Trump is saying everything that he want to do.
Only difference is you knew you was going to get slapped in the mouth and I didn't.
You just didn't know when.
But we both got slapped in the mouth.
Well,
right.
hold on.
Exactly, Kamar.
I feel like getting slapped in the mouth. I feel like getting slapped in the mouth is like the most blackest metaphor you can. Like, say a dude who's gonna slap you in the mouth, right? Like first of all, that's some bullshit. Now hold on. You going at Courtney, so I want to give her a chance to respond. But let me catch my chat room. Because it's a lot of people.
Going at me so hard.
A lot of people.
All right, I'm
hold on.
Let me truck background.
Let me get
about fear, Margaret. Niggas get upset.
Right. It was mad.
Well, I just told you. You have to create a safe space.
You was scared.
So hold on.
That's what I think is happening.
Let me get the chat room. This is Erica Hunt telling Scott it was a waste of a vote. Mama Jenkins is in the chat room. She said, "Good evening, family. I think I'm kicked off again. Gotta watch my writing skills better. These dirty motherfuckers. Yeah, you can't. There's certain words if you say it in the chat, Facebook.
You should just call in and say
they jumping on your heels if you say certain things. So that's part of that's part of putting it out here. Scott said, I'm actually encouraged that Courtney is not part of the 92%. Yeah, well, you talking. See, the thing, this is a forked tongue devil. Because what you're talking about is a supposed 92% of black people voting democratically. But once again, I've told you before, our voter turnout is so fucking low.
Yeah.
What is it, 12, 13%? So if you want to tell me that 12 or 13% of voters, 92% of that voted democratically, I would still say that's a small number. So that doesn't matter. Because we're not talking about how black people vote. We're talking about, remember, what's at stake for this in this election? Is it an assault? Is the fear that people that we're basically trying to save our own constitution or our own democracy, not constitution, but our own democracy? That's what we were talking about. So I like how you put 92%. Now I know what you're talking about. 92% of black people vote democratically. All right. Well, do it matter if only 12% of those people vote? I don't think so. Erica Hunt said facts. Dion Wells said. Big Reg, how you doing, my brother? He said, yo, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Big Reg. He says they absolutely need to eliminate the DOE. States know better how to educate their citizens' children. Do they need to get rid of the Department of Education? I mean, isn't it always? I thought this was about checks and balances. I would have to look into what the Department of Education specifically does, because I know in a state like Wisconsin, in which you look at MPS, and it's a hot bowl of doo-doo turd, right? Yes, I said doo-doo turd. We won't talk about MPS, but come on, man. Is there anything MPS does right? I mean, come on, man. Like, stop it. Now, because we got the DPI in Wisconsin, they the big dog. So are they then governed by the Department of Education? Let's talk about that. Erica Hunter said, Dion. Scott said this country was founded on states' rights. Absolutely. But okay. Well, I mean, you said that to say what? That's very true. I'm not even if Trump, see, you talking about what it's founded on, but Trump wants to destroy what it was founded on, right? He wants to take out all of the stuff that y'all had in place. I just can't get over the fact. Once again, I need a black person to call in. Tell me why you love Trump. Let's not forget that. I really need to hear from a person of color who supports Trump. I just want to know why. Right? Things that make you go, I just want to know why. Vince Tony, how you doing? He said, what up, Outlaws? He said, black voter turnout in 2020 was 68%. In Milwaukee? Do your homework, Kev. What was it in Milwaukee? Even if it was 68%, right? And 92% of that votes democratically. So what? What's wrong with that? Why would we support a party that blatantly blows piss and shit in our face on a daily basis? Hey, people are not sheep, man.
Hey, how about this part though? But that's the reason why they pander to the black community so much for these votes.
Because our vote,
they know most of them ain't voting. So I've done technically to get them to come out. You know what I mean? And then now this is why you got Kamala Harris on TV talking about cooking greens and shit. You know what I mean? Because they doing their best trying to get these votes that ain't normally coming out. And that's why I be saying, like, I don't know why we be so surprised when we see them pandering for our votes. You know what I mean? We see it every year. Our vote is the most important vote every election, I mean.
Mama Jenkins says Dion has read Project 2025 because I read most of it also, and he's absolutely on point. It's definitely in that book. His plan, she called him Hitler. He said he was looking at nationally. Okay. So, 68%. 68%. Okay. I don't. Do I feel much better now? That 90, or do I feel bad that 92% of them are voting democratically? Because when you talk to the average Republican, they usually are, let's be honest, they're usually racist white people. We know it ain't nothing wrong with admitting that right now. They're the party of racists in this country. Now, are there some Democratic racists? Absolutely. But Republicans, most of the time, are unapologetically just, I guess it's see, that's what I'm saying. I'm on neither side. I'm not a Democrat or Republican because they both are shitty in their treatment towards us, even though one tries to pander to us a little bit more than the other. Dion is saying they're going to get rid of government programs. Some people say they need to get rid of them. Some black people say we should get rid of welfare. Right? You shouldn't be on welfare. I think people sometimes overestimate their situation in life. You forget that there are people who actually need welfare. There are people who need public programs. Affordable housing is needed. You know what I mean? Social Security is needed. And so when you assault all of that, I mean, he said, unfortunately, yours are sheep. You have zero swing power as voters. I mean, you call us sheep, right? And I think that represents what I just said. Because first of all, that's racist as fuck to say. Because what's the percentage of white people who vote Republican? Then that means y'all bigots. So if we sheep, y'all bigots. Because what percentage of white people vote Republican? So we can say y'all bigots. We sheep and y'all bigots, right? I thought the Bible said
they sheep too shit.
I thought the Bible said the meek shall inherit the earth. Well, of course. So who are bigger zombies for Trump than white people? White people are glamored over Trump. He said all the most dumb shit. You don't know. I'm telling you, this man get up talking about the size of another white man's penis in the shower. Right? He talks about this for an hour. He lies. Nothing he says is actual factual. He said, grow up. That's not racist. It's reality. Of course, what the white man does is reality. You just showing more and more that you're a bigot. That's all, Scott. That's why we don't fuck with y'all.
White people always want to pass. They always want to pass with some shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's not us. Yes, the fuck it is. You believe in everything that this motherfucker say. He getting up there lying. The man was and then the killing part about it, people, they probably do know, but they don't know. Say, for instance, you guys on here are entrepreneurs. Say y'all went and did business for Trump. Trump owe y'all hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. The man filed bankruptcy, so he wasn't able to pay y'all. That could have been money that you pay mortgage on your house, a car note, your credit card, on your kids' college bill, but Trump stiff you and say, fuck you. You understand what I'm saying? See, that's what I don't like about people. That's just like me and dude was arguing. Well, we weren't arguing. We was going back and forth. I said, in the federal government, in 130 years, they haven't executed no prisoners. When Trump was leaving office, he expeditiously, the man tried to tell me, oh, that's not the president's job. I had to damn near, and it just frustrated me, bro. You know what I'm saying? And all kept going back in my mind. Kevin was like, why do you listen to this dude? But I mean, I don't want to talk politics with the man no more. You know what I'm saying?
It's the same as right now. I said I wanted a black person to call in and tell me why they love Trump. Instead, the white dude is in the chat room, and what they always do is make you think if you're a black person and you can spot racism, you're less than intelligent than they are. Oh, grow up. I mean, come on, really?
Trump is granting them their racist rights.
Say that again, Erica. I forgot I had you on the line. What's going on?
What's going on, Outlaws? How y'all doing? This your girl, Erica Hunt from the comment. I hope all is well for everyone.
Everybody's good. What's cracking?
So look, I mean, Donald Trump is racist. We've identified that, right? And he has his Project 2025, which we know the man can barely speak, so I know he's not smart enough to write all 900 pages by himself. So therefore, that game plan that they have to destroy democracy is definitely not the American agenda. It's actually the agenda of the terrorists of the world who are funding his campaign. And democracy is under attack. And the old people know it, especially the ones who had to fight in the wars, because they feel like war is coming to our city streets. And it's going to happen when the Klan and everybody that they strategically put in place decide to be pissed off because a black woman won. Regardless if we believe she's black or not. In their mind, all they see is another tan bitch who thinks she's going to come run their show. Because we're talking about racism.
See, but she's been the VP. I like, it's funny to me that people always talk about her VP. Like she's you know, a VP that really don't do too much. So he can challenge her on policy all he wants, because what VP you know did a whole bunch of shit? When Biden was president, vice president, he didn't do shit.
Well, I know Kamala Harris just put a mandate in for a lot of the union workers that SEIU Wisconsin represent, and we are actively going to go get that extra money.
She did a mandate, but did she take any legislature through Congress, through the Senate, and get it passed like a president?
As long as our union members, as long as our workers work actively to go and get that, they'll have everything that's promised to them.
I'm saying, but you're giving her credit for doing it. You said she vouched.
I'm talking about democracy. See, right now, we how many days away from the election?
I don't know, but we're about
ain't no more.
Week and a half?
We're about 8 days.
Something like that.
About 8 days. Yeah. We're about 8 days from making a decision. You've been saying all year long, we have to make a decision. And we 8 days from making a decision. And I say to families out there in America, they are threatening democracy, and they trying to come for everything we've been surviving off of, including our right to vote. Okay. So before you go out there and waste your vote or decide not to vote because of religious belief or whatever, make sure y'all pay attention to them polls, because the decision is, do we put Donald Trump, who is a very out loud, racist type of man, and all through 2020, when black people went to the streets to protest their right, they were mad we were getting away with it, so they stormed the Capitol to remind us that they the white population and they control things. After they attacked a lot of peaceful civilians in our community. Black people ain't stopped dying at the hands of them folks who are police officers, doctors, lawyers, and everybody else that we may need as of a service. So my advice to people is, when they make a decision in this election, they need to think about this way, right? I'm a union organizer and I do labor. So if you had a choice of having two choices, right? And you got this job, and it's either one, the only two possible choices is one who is a mixed breed, half breed like me, black female considered in the system mind frame, or do you who don't mind showing up for you when you need to be defended because she was a lawyer, who doesn't mind making laws to protect the working class people, who doesn't mind carrying her gun like she Medea. Or do you want the crooked white guy? Or do you want the crooked white guy?
It's actually a guy, right? Like, so, okay.
Or do you want the crooked white guy who's told you to your face, I'm finna slap you in your shit. I don't care if you believe me. And if you think I'm not gonna slap you in your shit, but I'm gonna slap you in your shit, and then I'm gonna slap you in your shit again for letting me slap your shit.
What's black people fascination with somebody getting slapped? I don't understand. That's the second time we done had a
world star.
I'm using Deion saying because it works very well, and it seemed like everybody understood.
Yeah, black people got that. Like, let me see. I want to get slapped. Like, but hold on. Like, this. I don't want the conversation to get too broad. I want to keep it. I want to keep it very specific.
That's how it feels.
But you just said,
but that's how
Erica,
it's gonna feel.
Hold on, Erica.
Look,
hold on. You just said that you feel like that there's an attack on a democracy. That was the question.
Mhm.
And so you answered that question. Okay. It kind of got sidetracked because you went into endorsing Kamala for some union stuff when that's not really relevant to the conversation. I just want to keep it on the threat that he poses to our system. And maybe the system needs to be broken up. But that was the question. So you did a good job in answering that part of it. So we don't need to turn this into a Kamala Harris ad, right? Because I don't really love her either.
That's fine.
And so I don't want to, and I don't want to start talking about what she likes, and she like cats, and she like tuna fish, and like what I don't care about any of that. Like I'm just saying, and it's not, once again, when it comes to unions in this country, there's a lot of us, in particular, a lot of black people who are not in favor of unions, and so that's kind of like one of those kind of borderline topics too. Like you will say, hey, but she's pro-union. And a lot of black people say, shit, I don't care. My job don't even got no union. Because most of our jobs don't have unions.
And why not?
Because unions, because at one point they proved themselves to be kind of like a
hey, she asked you like it was your fault.
But it's not.
Well,
it's
no,
not
the truth is, no,
because that was working back then.
I know, but it's you don't really need, if I have an HR person and I can sit down and be represented by HR representative in any dispute, I got just about as much a chance as I do if I got a union rep representing me. The only really what union is good
is your buddy.
Unions are good when there's labor negotiations, because they can go in and help you get a higher wage, and that's pretty much where it's at. But a lot of jobs right now, once again, don't have them because it's just like we don't need that. So and once again, they take union fees out your check. There's a whole conversation about unions. I don't even want to come at you about the validity of unions. I'm just saying we
don't have to get in unions, but I've been leading and working with a lot of these working class people who are the voters of America, who are saying, yes, my job is important enough to get out and vote.
There you go. Okay, let's hold on right there because the chat room's popping. Jeff Crape said, I run a small company and unions can break you. He said, good HR and a moral company is all you need. John Fletcher said, facts, it is, Erica, war coming. This is the setup, damn near the purge. EPU Personal Self-Defense System LLC said it on Outlaw Radio. You absolutely did. He agrees with you. So let's just even transition this more, because once again, a lot of our problem as people of color with Trump is that he stands with known racists. He is a racist himself. But a lot of our elected presidents have been racist, right? A lot of our Supreme Court judges are racist. So, but
even Clarence Thomas.
Clarence Thomas is Uncle Tom, which I guess in essence is a racist. You know what I'm saying?
But aren't these the same people that are the ones who vote on laws like, hate crimes for black people? And isn't that the reason why they haven't been put into law? Because these are racist people who hold these positions every time?
Well, when we talk about the Supreme Court, what do they actually govern when something is a legal precedent that needs to be set so it can be the basis of how laws are written from henceforward? They are the gatekeepers for that. They are, when certain laws are debated to the point where they have to go to court and it ends up in the hands of a Supreme Court, their decision is pivotal. But we don't pay attention to who these individuals who hold these positions are, and usually they have to be nominated, right? But they
got to be appointed,
right? They got to be appointed. So the person that you basically elect has the power to say, I want, like Trump handpicks his judges. He handpicks his judges. He's going to put people in power. And that's the biggest fear of the Project 2025, is that he's going to put people in power that will allow him to just start, blowing everything up. There'll be nobody to say, no, because they're all going to be his cronies. And so,
So he's going to give rights. So we're talking about war, right? We're talking about war. Like I started out, he's giving them their racist right. And it's a law that says that if we go to the city and protest like we have been, the right to shoot us dead, and they will not be held for our death because that's the law.
The Insurrectionist Act. Yeah, it's the Insurrectionist Act.
So once again,
so first off, he's giving them the right to kill us. So I could be out there too loud with my black sassy ass and be protesting that you're not finna bully on me and my kids, and they could shoot me dead and justify it with that law.
Well, they can do that now. They can do that now.
Do it now. But we gonna sit back and watch them put more collars and chains on this legal.
I don't see. Once again, I don't. When we start talking about what he'll actually do. Because I think we talked about fear mongering, and I think a lot of that has been utilized by the Democratic Party as rhetoric to sway voters to say, hey, look, he's gonna lock you all up and kill you and throw you in jail, right? And it is kind of something that's been utilized. Just like the whole gay thing that they've used against Kamala, saying she gonna get prisoners transgender surgeries and everybody gonna be gay. Just people getting turned into women and the government gonna pay for it. And so that's become kind of a narrative of that. Well, let's see the commercial that says she supports the pronouns and Trump supports us. I was like, really?
They've been doing that though, Kev. They did that when Obama was in office. It was a trans, and he went to prison. I think it was in Philadelphia somewhere, Pennsylvania, and he got women pregnant. See, the thing is, they don't tell you the whole thing. If a person is in transition before they commit a crime and get locked up, they got to continue that surgery on them. It ain't like I go up in there and say, oh, I want to be a woman, now I'm going to be a woman. If you was going through the process of taking your breast hormones and all this and whatever, get your coochie, get your thing toe out or whatever, however they do it, they can't stop that because they're denying you medical treatment. So they're finishing the process that was started before they got locked up. See, they're not telling you the whole narrative. We just hear the sound bites of the shit. You feel what I'm saying? There's no way you could go in jail and be like, oh, even I've been to prison. They didn't put none of them niggas that was in prison that was homosexuals that had titties with the women. They kept them there with us. These are men that was going through the transition, had already started getting the surgery and taking the hormones and all that. So they have to continue with that because they're denying them medical treatment. You feel what I'm saying? Okay. They don't tell you the whole story.
Okay.
Right. Hey, and then to add on to that, you know what I'm saying? The thing is, we got to look at why they calling it medical treatment and they allowing that to be a part of it. That's the issue right there. Because see, in prison, you can have any kind of medical treatment that you need. Like that ain't nothing that she even got to pass, I wouldn't think, just because it falls under medical treatment.
Well, they sell us on the narrative that that's what she supports, so there'll be more because they want to stop that, right? Like, you know, I guess, you know, I think Republicans think that none of them are gay because they go hard on gay people, and whoever does something, you know, gay for like pro-gay on the Democratic side, they be like, see, but it's like y'all all do the same thing. I guess that's my issue. They all do the same thing, and you have to make your decision based on something. That's why I wanted to ask people if you support Trump, now that we in the home stretch, just be able to articulate to me why. That's all. Like, I don't want to hear the Kool-Aid. And that's when, like, when I talk to somebody like Orlando, and we can't have a straight conversation because eventually he's going to go into the Republican rhetoric, and it'll just be like, and at that point, it's like we're not even being serious. We ain't even really having a serious conversation. Right, like we're really now
getting government assistance.
Well, just talking. I don't know if he's getting government assistance.
Can I share a story with y'all? Just a quick story. It was actually a trick or treat story.
Okay.
Okay, so we all say it was trick or treat. Don't shoot the messenger for taking our kids trick or treating because it's just a family activity that a lot of American people get involved in. However, we were trick or treating yesterday. And we messed around and wandered into a community where there was a bunch of Trump signs. They shouldn't close the door on me and my proud children.
Okay.
So that's a lot of common neighborly racism that we're going to have to deal with if Donald Trump gets into office.
Well, why would you go? Why would you go? I wouldn't even trust a candy from a neighborhood full of Trump signs. Like I wouldn't even. I mean,
they get up that candy to their own kids.
Well,
I said we wandered into a neighborhood where Trump signs were.
But once you was there, you stop wandering and say, "Oh shit, we need to go back," don't you? Or do you just keep wandering? Like,
definitely got my brown babies up out of there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That would have been
and
a no-brainer.
my teenagers from around the corner because that happened.
Yeah. No, that's not good business at all.
Yeah. That's not good business. Like I said, don't shoot me for taking my kids trick or treating and wandering into the wrong neighborhood.
That's your business.
But my point
the wander part is what I'm
tripping
off of. Like I haven't wandered in a long time.
I mean, we turning corners. We turning corners. You know, we in a community. We just turning corners, and then we walked in. We see a bunch of Trump signs. You know, I'm just trying to show y'all. That was my point. My point to that trick or treat story for y'all was to show y'all that's how close the racism is.
You should have trick or treated in the community. Because I always hear black people be like, I'm going to go out to Jackson. I'm going to go out to Brookfield. I'm going to go out here. I'm going to go to West Island. And then when you get that type of treatment, it's like, oh, God, why? Oh, they did. But what you expect, though, these people, that's why it be shocking me when niggas be upset with white folks. These people been like this since God knows how long. You believe it or not, there's people that committed atrocities such as lynchings and murders back in the 60s and the 50s is still living to this day. And, you know, so they just taking their mask off. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, people can play with that fire with Donald Trump if they want to. You know what I'm saying? You see they already, and see, Ken, that's another thing. I be listening to you, you know, not no shot at you. But when you be saying, well, if you act like he can't do this in his first 180 days, unless the Senate stays Democrat, yes, the fuck he can. Because he had already, the Supreme Court already saying, look, he can do whatever he wants to as president. So it ain't gonna be no more checks and balances like we think it is. That's why he picked those three people that went on the Supreme Court. So they already saying when you come up in this motherfucker, you got the green light to do whatever the fuck you want to do.
So what you telling me is,
Vice President.
Let's be clear, Dion, because if we bring this the statement you just made back up, you're gonna say I didn't say that. You're saying day one when he walks in office, he's gonna be able to do whatever he wants to do.
Day one.
There will be
when he walks in,
there will be no checks and balances, even though there is Democrats and there is Republicans in the Senate. He's just gonna be able to just bypass all that.
I just said if the Republicans have the majority in the Senate, he's gonna be able to do whatever the fuck he wants to do.
Okay.
Because the Supreme Court already said. Matter of fact, he can use an executive order and he can override the Senate. Now remember, we talking about checks and balances. Sometimes the president used that executive order because Obama had to do it a couple times. So if he on bullshit,
there an executive veto too, though. I thought there was an executive veto. I don't know. I'm speculating. Listen, that's something I'm gonna be watching for because the day he walks into office, I want to see if he like I said, we said this before.
If he wins,
I think he's gonna win. I think he is gonna win. But when he walks into office the first day, he's gonna say, "All right, here's my list," and everybody fired that day.
Yeah, he already about to fire people and hire Trump loyalists.
Okay.
That's why I say, man, you got to be listening to this shit, man. That man want people that are loyal to him. You got to.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is, he's gonna come because he has to come in with policy that eliminates things. You can't just come in. You fired. He has to come in with policy that gives him favor. So he's gonna already have this in his hand when he walks in.
Hey, is Dion pushing for Kamala?
Dion has already voted.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm pushing. Yeah, I already voted.
You voted for Kamala?
Yeah, Democrat all the way down the line. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like to travel. I don't want to, and I go to the South a lot. I don't want to go down there and I told him not to take his ass down there. You know, and so hopefully, but yeah, no, see, the thing about it is he has this thing with the hair. First of all, he got Elon Musk backing him. $1 billion, $1 trillion. Jeff Bezos, I don't even know what happened to him. The guy from the LA Times, he's a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? But he also has the Heritage Foundation. That's who wrote the mandate for leadership. So they already out here while we sitting up here talking on the podcast and sleep every night and doing whatever we doing. They hand picking people. Like, hey, boom, boom, boom. And if you ain't loyal to Donald Trump, they don't want you part of it. They don't want you part of it.
Well,
and this is what they said out their own mouth.
Well, Dion, we know he's not going to be hiring people that's anti him. What I'm more concerned about is the resistance to whatever he comes in with that's fugaziness. Now, let me catch my chat room. Mariah says, I was on Brown Street with my kids. Cuz says she was on Brown Street. Wow. That's
right. Y'all saying Brown Street ain't no better either than going out to the white folks.
I kind of trust my people. I kind of trust my people. In a neighborhood, look, for me, and it's just me, a red flag for any neighborhood. Like I drive now because I have to drive for my job. When I'm driving through communities where I see a lot, I watch what the people have in their yard. If they have a bunch of Trump signs, if they have a bunch of American flags and all this kind of stuff, I'm not stopping at the gas station there. I'm not. I'm just not. That it doesn't like it's not like I couldn't go somewhere where there wasn't no Trump signs and something still could happen to my black ass. But I just pay attention to my surrounding. So yeah, I'd feel a little bit more comfortable trick-or-treating on Brown Street than I would in far Glendale. Like I just would feel better. See, white ice ain't colder to me. So I don't think, well, if I go to a white neighborhood, won't nothing happen. Right? Like that's how they get your ass.
Oh no. I don't do that.
Dre, they said I'm just wondering if the Democrats are going to release their Project 2025 as if they don't have an agenda. Okay. He said they have a Project 2025 as well.
I'll bet in the comments after that's fantastic. Y'all.
All right, Erica. Peace out. Thanks for calling in. I mean, yeah, they have an agenda. Shit. They both see, I think people get this confused, and this is where like we talk about the fact that Trump is a racist, but black people are concerned about a bunch of other issues too, economically. Some of us are business owners. Some of us are workers who work in and take care of their family. We're paying attention to what's going on with the taxes. And like, look at here in Milwaukee County, where now there's this $19 million hole in their budget. Got to get that money from somewhere. As a matter of fact, I'm seeing now that there's a projected deficit coming in the MPS budget. MPS just released, well, the list was just released. MPS has 40 failing schools. And so they've come out with this plan to start now closing and merging schools. Let's see, 40 failing, 13 of them are recommended to be merged or closed. But doesn't this further put us in the pickle because now you're going to have more vacant buildings? Right? I'm not totally against that because I believe with the truancy rate of MPS, it's just like at this point to put a whole lot of money and keep throwing money at it, I think is a waste. I think MPS has to prove that they can be a vital, accountable, effective public school system before we throw them any more money. Maybe to break their budget all the way down and force them to say, okay, we're going to have to sell these buildings. We're going to have to cut every corner we can. And then build it out as you get success back into the system. Like when you're talking about damn near 50% of the kids are truant, we got a problem. Right? And they were saying, well, if we don't get this money, we got to cut teachers. Well, 40% of the kids ain't coming. Maybe you should cut some teachers anyways. I don't know. I'm no genius. I don't know everything. I'm just speculating. But yeah, man. And so they have yet to report out on their financials. This is going to be very interesting. Because somebody somewhere in this city has to take accountability for MPS. If we need to come up with a referendum where we say, hey, City Hall, you need to come in here and take this, or the state needs to take it. Because to let them move how they've been moving, and supposedly they're governed by the school board, which is voted on, their elected officials, it's not working. It is a horrible failure. It's the embarrassment of education systems as far as large cities go, as far as urban America goes. And I have people say, there's some places where it's worse, Kevin. Ours should not be this bad. It should not be this bad. Like, come on, man. You got $1 billion budget. Stop it. Ace said this next 4 years will tell us if our community will make it or not. Thank you, Ace. And I guess that's what I was pointing at too. And then, you know, like Kamar said, we get to talk about these politics, man. It can spin. But I think the next 4 years will be pivotal. And I think it's going to be pivotal even if Kamala gets elected. But me, I'm thinking it'll be Trump, just because I see too many people who, when I start seeing black people cheer for a racist white person, it really just confuses me. I still don't even understand why so many of us love him. That's why I'm saying, brother, let's talk about it. Because I'm not going to be like, oh, you dumbass motherfucker. Once again, I just don't want to hear the Kool-Aid. I don't want to hear, you know, somebody saying we're 92% of you all vote democratically and you're sheep and you have no swing vote power, which is a lie. Any election where we turned out in force and voted, the tides was turned. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. You have no swing power. What do you mean? If we were mobilized and we really knew how to utilize our voting power, we could really be a force to reckon with. We're not mobilized. We're not, because a lot of us have already given up on this system. So we feel like it's going to be what it's going to be, Kamar. I mean, because what else can you say as a black person? Like, they usually do what it is that they're going to do. We might protest it. We might say, oh, this is hell. This is horrible. And they still do it because money make the world go round. And they have the lock and key on the money. They have the lock and key on the money in this country. We can get some money, but very few of us get to their money. Like, you don't know, there's people living off third and fourth generation inheritances in this country. You know, and now that's not to say they're not poor white people, because that would be a misnomer. I understand there's poor white people. But if they were just use their whiteness, it'd be a lot easier for them to come up than it would be for one of us, man. Right. So yeah, y'all tell me, man, what's at stake here? I mean, I'm enjoying everybody's take on it. Is this really an election that will determine where our democracy, the state of our very democracy, our democratic system, checks and balances, this kind of thing? Nobody has supreme power. What will America look like if one man has all the power, Kamar?
I don't know, man. I doubt that can even happen. Like you know, I doubt it can even happen.
Well, that's what. I feel
like if it could happen, it would have happened already.
That's an interesting take. This ain't
the first racist president.
Right. We got a caller. Caller, what's popping?
What's up, Kev? Vince here.
Vince, Tony, the agitator. What it do, my brother? How you doing tonight?
Not bad at all. Hey, I called in and said I talked to a guy on Saturday. He's 40 years old. He was in my neighborhood doing some work. And we talked about a lot of different things about Milwaukee, about the black males in Milwaukee, and a lot of different things that some we agree on, some we didn't agree on. But to your question, you know, he said he's voting for Trump. He said that Trump put money in his pocket. He said the Democrats, when they hold office, he lost the job. He's concerned about immigrants taking jobs. He sees them immigrants. Kamala Harris is a Jew. So these are his reasons for voting for Trump.
Okay, so when he said he put money in his pocket, we already kind of debunked the stimulus check thing. How did Trump was he able to articulate how Trump put money in his pocket?
His job.
Okay, so his job was a direct result of Trump being president. Was he Secret Service? What was he doing?
I don't know exactly what he's doing. He said, you know, he had more money in his pocket. The tax breaks, the tax cuts that he was giving people.
Trump now
he was part of that. He got tax cuts, so he got tax breaks.
So he was wealthy.
So he had more money in his pocket.
So he was wealthy because
I don't know how wealthy he is, but he says that's one of his reasons. So I can't debate or argue that point. I don't know how, but he said he had more money in his pocket.
I would just want the specifics. That's all. I mean, it's not you. I'm not shooting the messenger. I'm saying what I would ask him.
Right.
Like when you say I had more money, because like I said, I had less money and I have more money in my pocket now, but I have a better job than I had when he was president. So I'm not going to attribute me having more money to Biden. I'll say, no, I have a better job than I had under Trump. So yeah, I got more money in my pocket. Now, if you're talking tax wise, then Trump he gave tax cuts. He's known for giving tax cuts in favor with taxes to the wealthy, right?
True.
So is there ever, what was he doing in terms of tax breaks for poor people? I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know the specifics.
Well, I think that's one of the things that he's saying. As far as the Democrats concerned, the Democrats just give away money. Trump's not just giving away money.
Okay, they give away money for social service programs, that kind of thing. Where they give, how do they give away? I'm asking once again, how do they give away money?
With the grants and I think I was at a program about 2 weeks ago, and the governor said that he's given over $23 million to faith-based organizations.
Okay.
Bush started that, but go ahead.
Yeah, he started it, but the Democrats are running with it.
So let me ask.
That's his perspective.
Let me ask you the question then, Vince, since I got you on the line. Do you feel like this is an election in which the state of our democracy is at risk via the election of Donald Trump?
When right now, I would say when I look at the world and what's going on in Gaza, what's going on in Russia, and I think that's more of a world war possibly coming versus what's going on in this stupid country. So I think the stakes are higher when I look at the world versus when I look at the United States. And when I look at China and I look at how much we don't have, how much we don't make. Products and things of that nature, and where it comes from, we're not as in control as we thought we think that we are.
So
I know, and
GDP
and all of these
and import and exports, right?
Pardon me?
I said so. GDP, imports, and exports. In
Well,
terms,
I think when we look at the NAFTA, the North American Trade Agreement, I think
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah, it was slaves. So I mean, basically, they're saying, well, we're gonna, we can't afford to pay these prices anymore, so we're going to take these jobs and we're going to get the slave labor from overseas to make these products.
Right.
Because we don't want to pay the wages in this country. So that's a part of it. I'm more concerned about what's going on in the world versus what's going on and these wars that are being fought right now. If Israel wasn't getting our weapons, they couldn't fight the war. If Russia wasn't getting weapons from other places, they couldn't fight their war. And we know that Ukraine couldn't fight the Russians without the weaponry that we provide them. So it's a bigger picture than Donald Trump and all this other shit. Something.
But if Trump get elected, they're not gonna help Ukraine no more, and then they're gonna allow Vladimir Putin. And then you didn't say nothing about North Korea going over to Ukraine helping Vladimir Putin. So if Ukraine don't get any weapons from the United States, then Russia gonna go over there and basically annihilate those people. Same thing with. We keep on sending it, but Donald Trump is going to send Israel whatever they need and tell them to take the gloves off because he don't give a fuck about the Palestinians because he had a Muslim ban. You know what I'm saying? So we're all
my brother was saying, Kamala Harris is married to a Jew, so that was another point that he brought up. So I don't know what the significance is, but that's something that he contends with.
So, okay. So Vince, once again, so you believe that it is the state of our democratic system as we know it in this country is at risk if Donald Trump is elected as the president?
I don't, like the old folks in Alabama say, time will tell. I don't know what's going to happen. We still do have a Congress and things have to go past that route too. So, again, I'm, having lived overseas and I don't know, I just think that the picture, just the United States and talking to people of different countries and what they think about this country, we not as powerful. We have the weaponry to be powerful, but when capitalism from a world perspective. Now we're not as in control of capitalism as we think we are because we're buying and getting products from other places.
Do you support Trump? Do you support Trump?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I don't support either one of them, but I wouldn't vote for that idiot. I mean, when it came to voting locally for the mayor, I voted for Bugs Bunny because I thought Bugs Bunny could do a better job. I'm not going to vote. I can write in the name who I'm going to vote for.
But people say that's a waste of a vote, though.
It's not a waste of my vote. I think Bugs Bunny would have been a better mayor than he's not on the ballot.
Come on, Vince, come on, man. Like, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, so if Trump represents a threat towards our democracy, isn't it more important than ever that you just vote? You have to put a vote in against the person who he is running against. You know what I'm saying?
Kevin, I'm going to say what you would say. I'm a party pooper. I don't really give a shit about either one of them because they ain't done shit for me.
Exactly.
Neither one of them.
Exactly. But
so if I want to balance how do I balance this thing? So no, I wouldn't vote for I think the dude is an idiot. So I wouldn't vote for him. Kamala, I can put her on my ballot, but hey, it is what it is. I wouldn't vote for the dude. So if you want to know that for me, Bugs Bunny, but I could vote for her. I don't, I've always voted, but I don't necessarily have to vote for who's on the ballot.
Oh, Bugs Bunny was a racist. Don't vote for Bugs Bunny.
Then that's fine.
Bugs Bunny was a racist. Bugs Bunny was a racist. Don't vote for Bugs, man. Watch some of them old cartoons. Hold on, I'm joking. Let me catch hold on, Vince. Let me catch the chat room. Hold on, Dion. I want to stay current with the chat room. Erica Hunt says tax breaks for the rich just mean they pay less taxes than us normal working people. I think we know that. Thank you. Ewok says statistics show that black people always do better financially under a Democratic president. People refuse to look up facts. Ace Cooley said the Democrats tax the shit out of you. Keeping it real, the president isn't running the country. Larry Fink and BlackRock runs the country. Listen to him when he says forced behavior. Okay. Larry Fink and BlackRock. Okay. She said Dion's on fire. Courtney's agreeing with you, Vince. She said that's right. But Vince, this is the conversation that we've had. And first of all, Dion, you wanted to respond, so let me let you get yours off first. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask Vince, what? Because like me myself personally, I'm just gonna speak about me. I don't know anything about Kamala. She didn't come on my radar until she ran for president. It was elected vice president. So I'm wondering, Vince, what do you know about this lady that makes you not want to vote for her?
Oh, I'm not saying I'm not going to vote for her. I probably am. I'm going to vote for her. But what I know, she's a prosecutor, this and the other. She's married to a Jew. I think she's a better person, a better human being than Donald Trump. Is that simple for me?
Well put.
That's all. I mean,
well put.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So that
I can respect that.
Vince, you just helped me out tremendously because that would be the other side of the coin. This election, does it represent our democracy being at risk, or is it really just personal where it comes down to the fact that you say, I don't like him or I don't like her? Because some people are voting based on personal feelings. And some people are looking at real, like Dion's big on Project 2025. Vince, you just broke down a global economy. But everybody's not looking at it like that. Some people are like, they're going to the booth with their feelings in their hands. You know what? I just don't like him. That's the reason why I'm going to vote against him. So I don't know. I think you put it very well. Like, I just don't think he's I don't think he's a good person. That sounds kind of elementary, don't it? I don't think he's a good person, right? Like But
the killing part about it though, inflation is all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, somebody would be like, well, I had more money when Donald Trump was in office because first of all, you put a little bit more money on gas. Maybe you weren't going no place because we was in a pandemic. Because I don't see no tax cuts that he did. I didn't see no change in the tax code when I filed my taxes. You know what I'm saying? So if you was in a in the pre-inflation. I mean, before inflation hit, yeah, we were still under. Technically, we were still under Obama's, but when the pandemic fucked up a lot of shit, man. And people just they really forgetting about the pandemic messing up. It was people getting laid off. It's businesses that went out of business. People didn't want to go back to work because they was getting more money sitting on their ass at home, you know, from the unemployment, you know, but people probably took advantage of that, you know, but they not saying, oh, well, this, that, and that. You know what I'm saying? So then all of a sudden, yeah, you probably had more money then. You did. You know, we all did. I had more money when Obama was in office. Shit, I had more money when Clinton was in office. You know, but I don't know, you know, and then is, you know, but what's gonna fuck around, Kev, and I feel like you, and I hope it ain't true, niggas gonna fumble the ball here, man. You know what I'm saying? You gonna like and for real though. But I don't want to hear no niggas talking about I can't get no job, ain't no jobs out here. I don't want to hear no niggas talking about my Social Security ain't got cut, because motherfuckers that was getting Social Security for being drunk and lying about you a drug addict and shit, oh, they coming for you. It ain't gonna be no Pell Grants for motherfuckers. And they talking about that. Yeah, they want that. Ain't no more student loan forgiveness. So people, all the women is, you know, talking about, I'm about to go to school and get my BA, and you can't get no Pell Grant. Matter of fact, that affirmative action shit, that been dead. When he first was, you know, so anything, all the little benefits that, you know, see, people don't look at the little shit, because sometimes you are a qualified employee, but employer will look at you like, he a nigga, but we got to meet this status quo, because the federal government not only gave them a little initiative, but they put a demand like, hey, you got to meet this quota of so many minority people you got to hire. But that's off the record now. So now you go out here, if you got a bachelor's or whatever, the women go out here getting my master's, but you working at the fucking fry counter at McDonald's, you know, what fucking good is it? But I wanted to vote for him. You know, when your kids, you know, daycare is gone. All that workforce day, that's why I said when people, it's not, you don't have to read the whole manifesto. You could just, hey, the Department of Defense. Even with the FCC, a lot of shit, radio stations and shit, they trying to regulate the internet. We ain't gonna be able to just go on the internet.
You know what, Dion?
What up?
I want to say this. I have faith.
Yes.
I have faith in the people in this country that if these things start to happen, the revolution starts expeditiously. And I'm talking about it would have to be a situation where it's going to take the people to stand up and fight. If somebody comes in, and this is what I think, and I'm sure if this is his plan, he's going to have safeguards in place, because people are not going to take that shit. I'm telling you, when you start taking people off their rocker where they was able to take care of their families, and all of a sudden now, because of your direct policies, they have lost their jobs. Like you said, all the people with degrees, all of a sudden now we're all working in Pick and Save. Shout out to Pick and Save, just in case I ever have to apply. But it's time.
Dunkin' Donuts with the Indians.
Right. Well, it's time. It's go time then. Then you're leaving the people no choice. That right there will be. And once again, you're talking about, I'm gonna use the military, but the military personnel are from this country. So you're gonna be dealing with a situation that's gonna be real, real tough. Let me see.
It's gonna be like you said about the Civil War.
Let me read Erica's. I got another caller. I'm trying to merge, so Dion should still be with us.
Now when you talk about shit like that, we ain't never seen no shit in our lifetime like that.
We haven't.
We ain't see
you're gonna have to adjust.
You know what I'm saying, Cam?
You're gonna have to adjust. I mean, you know, like we said, if you black, it just comes down to you got to do what you got to do anyways. Now let me look at this chat room for a second, Dion.
Go ahead.
This is Erica. She says it's a waste of a vote. You putting in Bugs Bunny, they voting Donald Trump so he could win by the landslide, and so many votes are going to be wasted. Save your vote for election day, so that way, if Donald Trump is winning by a few, you can vote in the last hour and help save democracy. I don't think why she didn't understand why we were saying voting for Bugs Bunny is a waste of a vote. I mean, because he doesn't have a chance to win. She said, "That's right, Dion." Hold on. That's right, Dion. They gonna need them union jobs. Erica gonna ride for the union. Donald Trump has promised to use our own military against us if we decide to. Well, of course, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be civil unrest. It's not. American, we're not pushovers to that in that regard. Where if you just really just screw the monkey, it's gonna be some shit. It's consequences and repercussions. She said he's also said that if any military personnel refuse to follow his orders, he will bring the Chinese army to control them. I haven't seen him say these things. Does anybody else got any knowledge of him saying these things? Ernest Walker said, Kev, thinking this shit the Republicans plan to do can't happen is like thinking the police got to leave your house after your dumbass open the door and let them in. I mean, I guess if that's how you feel. This is a little bit different from the police coming to my house. You're talking about putting millions of people in a bad position to which they can't provide for their families anymore. That's totally different from your individual rights getting violated by one single solitary police officer, in my mind. But I hear you. Now I got Arizona calls this Ace. Thought I had Arizona. Arizona, you still with me?
I'm here. Yeah, that's me, Kev. I'm on the road, man.
What's going on? What's going on,
hey,
brother?
Man, I'm listening to this shit. And like I said, dude, this is so much bigger than what we're talking about, man. This got the UN involved. This got NATO involved. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we got to look at this from a bigger standard, man. They trying to reduce the population, period. You know, the way I think, it's on a bigger scale. Because when I say Larry Fink, it's in BlackRock. A lot of people don't know who BlackRock is. BlackRock pretty much owns a part of every major corporation in the world. You got to understand, too. And then on top of that, we look at this thing, they're trying to force behaviors. Like, they're trying to create a war. You got to understand, once again, the Jews, which I know you don't like us saying that, they're in control of everything, including from media to banking, all the way up to they've infiltrated the UN. The shit that was done in Israel. Look, Israel's military, they're supposed to have the best air force in the world. They knew this shit was going to happen. Matter of fact, they were saying that this was all established by the UN. Okay? This is just another version of it. Okay? So, the Democrats and Republicans, it doesn't matter who wins. We got to fight, dog. This is just what it is. You know, we boxed in, once again, like I told my cousin earlier, we boxed in between globalism and fascism. You get what I'm saying? We just going to be the first to go. And I sent you a clip earlier, I want to say a couple of days ago. If you look at that, it's going to tell you everything that's happening. Basically, if you understand the difference between slavery, or the history between slavery and indentured servitude, it's going to break everything down. Because basically how that happened, if you look at how it happened, at one point in time, it was Irish motherfuckers, the Italian motherfuckers, and whoever else was. We was all niggas. We was all niggas. What happened is they don't want us to unite, so they divided us. You know, to keep the oh shit, I missed my turn. Ain't that a bitch? To keep us divided, man, I should have missed that shit out that motherfucker. So to keep us divided, they gave these motherfuckers 40 acres in the mule. But in favor of them, they say, hey, you got to take this here. But for us, you got to keep these motherfuckers in order. You get what I'm saying? And so basically, how this works, and that's how the slave catchers started. The police started. This shit still continues to this day. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different elements to this shit that we can't keep up. And like the brother said, man, we gonna fumble the ball. But people got to really do their research on what's going on financially to find out who's controlling what. You know, the president don't got that much. He don't got that much power. He's not the most powerful entity. It's the motherfuckers that got the money, the companies, the corporations, BlackRock, the major corporations. If that motherfucker went down tomorrow, I can tell you, shit would be so much different right now.
Okay. So, and that's kind of like a different perspective than everybody else has been given. But I'm going to ask you the same question. But first of all, I like what Ernest said. Ernest, I don't think that they can't do it. I think it's going to be resistance. I guess that's what I was saying. I feel like there will be some resistance. Like, I'm not saying they can't. Like, that would be, I don't speak in definites like that. Like, they can't do it because, you know, you'd be surprised what people can get done. But I think that there will be.
Oh shit! I'm being pulled the fuck over. Hold on.
She said.
Motherfucker pulled the fuck. I'm glad I'm on the phone.
She said AZ said that. Ace. She called him AZ, Kamar. But let me. He got to talk to the law enforcement. So you might want to. I don't know if you want to mute us or what. You don't want to have them hear us in the background talking about fuck them. No, but because I wanted to see if Ace felt like, is this a personal thing or is it just the state of our democracy is at stake here? Like that's the question I've been asking everybody, because that was a point Dion had made a long time ago. Is like he felt like there needs to be a sense of urgency because the very state of the system as we know it is under duress. So, you know, but you know, y'all call in, let me know how y'all feel. We got some time left. I have some other stuff I wanted to talk about. Because another thing, and this is not even politics, right? This is more culture, more about our culture or whatever is supposed to be in this country.
Wait, Kev, can I ask you a question real quick?
What's that?
All right. Have you heard about the white man in Minnesota that shot the black man in the neck and the police refused to go get him out of his house?
Is this something recent? I did not hear about.
Yes, it's recent.
I haven't seen it. I don't even watch the regular news, so that's how I missed it. Was that Vince?
Yeah, it was on World News.
Okay, so tell me more about it, Dion. What happened?
I guess the black guy moved next to the white neighbor. He been in fear. They've been having conflict or whatever. The man sniped him out the window. Look, and you can see it on video. He's sitting there cutting some lumber or wood or whatever, and next thing you know, you just see him fall. And he messed up behind that. And the Minneapolis police say that they don't want to go inside that man's house to get him because the man has mental issues, and they fear that it'll be all it's home. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a man kid. Like, for real though, like you would have had to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all some, man, I swear, black man in America just don't get no justice, man.
Well, now, yeah, in Minneapolis, we're talking about the home of George Floyd, right? We're talking about,
yeah.
Are you surprised? I'm here I've been to Minneapolis. Nice city, by the way, but a lot of racism. Absolutely. So, I mean, that's evident.
I mean, you know, the cowardness, though. You know what I'm saying? How can you, okay, if he did it once before, what makes it say he won't do it again?
So what's the status of this now? Has he since been apprehended, or is he still up in the house?
No, they know where he at.
He at home chilling, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
The white boy, the brother in the hospital, almost dead.
Wow.
Shot him in the chest with his neck and some shit like that. The one thing that got me about that is like, I mean, where the fuck these people come from that's willing to the police to justify this dude staying in his house after shooting?
Yes. I said the community need to burn that motherfucker down. This is the time we need to come together. You know what I'm saying? Because we keep on allowing these people to roll us over, man.
But so hold on, wait. Let's not leave that behind, because I want to know, is there a warrant? Like, there has to be some sort of resolution. Resolution. He has to be. I'm saying right now, as we speak, what's the current status of this?
I don't know as of today, but when yesterday they said the chief of police said we're not gonna fuck with him.
Okay,
we're gonna leave him at home, and that was the end of the deal. There was no outrage.
So no warrant, just it's all good. Just like, all right, whatever.
It's good right there. You can kick it at your house.
They issue charges, yeah.
So they have charges.
They issue charges, but they didn't. But he hasn't been in custody though.
Okay.
I think he went into custody and they released him, or he wasn't in custody. I'm about to Google it right now and then I'm gonna send it to you.
All right. Now Scott said, "You understand? We're not a democracy. We're not a democracy. Okay, we're not. What are we?
A corporation.
We're okay.
A corporation.
Okay. So we're not a democracy. Therefore, there is no threat to our current democratic system.
We've never been a democracy. We've been a capitalistic corporation for the world, for England, for the most part.
So the process of voting, electing your representatives, you know, having a system in which there are social services programs and the government does allow, you know, different kind of concessions to people who may be less fortunate. None of that's democratic at all. But people say that's socialist. I get that. People say, no, Kevin, that's socialism. Okay. Answer my own question.
But they created this level.
Okay. Shout out to Jason Vidili. Oh, go ahead, Vince.
There's no way that a system that big should be out of sorts the way they are right now. It took decades for that school to get dumbed down this bad.
Okay. MPS is a mess. It's a mess.
Exactly. It's
a mess. Hold on once, Vince, because I want to talk to you about that too. Jason Vidili. Shout out to my cousin Jason Vidili, who actually lives in Minneapolis. Jason, have you heard anything about this? What the people talking about up there about this Ofe who was allowed to shoot the brother? She said you're talking about one of the modern day sundown towns. If them black people are acting a fool about it, they're not gonna do nothing about it. My cousin said these brothers move real different here in Minnesota. Yeah.
Really?
Listen. I've been to Minneapolis, and I have a lot of family. First of all, my wife's whole family is in Minnesota. I think except for one of her brothers. My daughter lives in Minneapolis right now. My son is going to school right outside the Twin Cities. I graduated from my bachelor's degree comes from Southwest State in Minnesota. So I spent a lot of time in Minnesota, and they are different. The brothers move a little bit different than how we do up here. But I'm gonna be honest with you, for all you people who complain about Milwaukee and people who say I got to get out of here, I hate this city and whatnot. A lot of times you go to other places, not all the time, but a lot of times you go, and when you get there, you realize there's no real black epicenter. The one advantage that we do have is a semblance of culture here. Now, we don't, of course, there's a lot of dysfunction, a lot of poverty, but I can touch my culture in this city, right? Like I can associate with people who are really about us as foundational Black Americans. It's a little bit harder. It's more of a stretch in the Twin Cities. And I just would say it has more to do with the fact that there's more biracial people. There's more people who are, you know, and white people haven't really run off like they did here from the city. So if you're in Minneapolis or St. Paul, it's nothing for white people to live like we're all in the same community. So it's just it is a different kind of mindset. I don't want to misrepresent for nobody up there, but I know when I was up there, I just noticed here we are a lot more, and they might be too now post George Floyd, but there's more of a deep kind of Black thing here in Milwaukee. I had to put that out there. So when Cuz says they real different in Minnesota, yeah, they're a lot different from us. Their mentality is different from ours. But I don't know if that has anything to do with the community allowing this dude to just sit in the crib and chill after he done gunned a brother down. I don't know if that could last over here. I think it'd be problems that night. like y'all gonna have to leave the police here all week because he ain't gonna be able to stay in this house. Yeah, I'm not encouraging anybody to do anything. But Vince, like, you are instrumental in going to the school board meetings, the one that they allow you to stay in before they kick you out. What is the latest? Because the money that they have to give their financials, what is it, November? In November? Is Vince still with us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still here.
And so I'm hearing rumors now that there's supposed to be a deficit. Because we know they've lost millions of dollars in in state money because they didn't get the paperwork done. But is it any truth to that there's supposed to be like a really big hole in this budget?
I can't answer that question, Kev. I've heard some rumors, but I don't know for sure. I think is it Dev or some of those other females have been 10 toes down to the ground. They know more about it than I do.
Okay.
I don't know the nitty-gritty of it.
Okay. Because they still have these court proceedings to get the resource officers back in the school, right? And And that's going through litigation now. So, but now they were required to do this under the tax. What was it? Act 12, Act 10. What was it?
Yeah, it's law. So they'd have to change the law for that not to happen. So right now, MPS has, in my understanding, has to figure out a way to get them in there because it's law and the law hasn't been changed.
Right. And so they're already negligent. This is about to be November.
Right. They are negligent.
They're going to they're gonna have to go to court over this. I'm thinking. And so and
well,
that was
ain't done shit else right. Why would you do
that makes sense. That makes sense. Cuz said I've heard nothing about it yet, so nothing being done. There's no pushback here. Erica said Minnesota is a very strong union town. Which part of Minnesota? Because Minnesota is a state, Erica. Are you talking about Minneapolis being a union town? That's strong. Erica is hilarious with her. Erica ride for the Union like Orlando ride for the Republicans. Straight banging on you with the union stuff, man. Oh my goodness. I remember when Kamala first announced her candidacy and Erica was like, yeah. I'm like, do you know anything about her policy? She's like, no, I don't, but I'm gonna be there. So shout out to Erica. Like, I miss every swing, every pitch that I don't swing at. But yeah, I'd like to know more about that. I'd like to know more about what's being done about the brother, because even my daughter hasn't called me, because normally she'd call me about something like that, like, Dad, you know what they did up here? But I tell my son and my daughter, you're always remind them where they are. Keep your head on a swivel, just like I do when they go out the house here. It ain't sweet. Keep your head on a swivel. Just because you get up there and you living by some white people and all this, you might think it's all good up here. That's when they get you. They have a serious homeless problem up there. And I'll tell you something else. The Somalis, oh my God, they are deep in Minneapolis. Let me tell you.
They got a whole town, a whole neighborhood.
Dinky town. Yeah, it's crazy up there. The dynamic has shifted from when I was there in the 90s. And so, white people still kind of holding on to the pava a little bit. But yeah, so Vince, the last school board meeting you went to was when? Because they got another one coming up. I always lose the dates. It's so many. What was the last one you went to?
Oh, probably last month. I'll be at the one tomorrow too.
Okay, and what do they mean about tomorrow?
Probably about the school closings. That's my understanding. That's because they have several items on the agenda, so you can speak to whichever item you want to. I'd be speaking against closing a specific school. So,
okay, so the merger, the whole plan to merge and close schools, you're speaking against that.
I'm speaking against. I don't think Keith Avenue Street School should be one of the schools that's closed. I think they've got enough students there that can justify that school remaining open. I just think that they have to get the right infrastructure on the inside. That's one of the schools that I volunteered at in the interim at the time. The principal said that I couldn't come up to the school anymore. So, it was successful because one of the Caucasian teachers, asked the young lady that helped me get through the process, asked him, where is he at? Because I was able to sit in that classroom, Kev, and help her navigate through the classroom, because when they see somebody in there like me and trying to help them out, it's a different rapport that they had. And I thought it was a good thing, but, for whatever reason, I got kicked out of North Division. I got kicked out of that school. So for wanting to volunteer.
Is there anywhere you haven't been kicked out of?
I didn't get kicked out of the military, so
okay, there you go. Okay,
I didn't get kicked out of college either. So
okay, because it seemed like every time I see Vince put it, yeah, and they told me I had to go. I was like, damn, why they put Vince? I was like, they stopped every meeting. Like, hold on, where you at? Hey, there he is, y'all. Get him out of here.
Vince, what's going on with the high spot? What's going on with the high spot?
Liquor license right now.
Oh, okay. I know you had texted me that one day.
Yeah, I mean, Alderwoman Pratt actually lied, telling the community and telling the licensing committee that the sister actually owned the store, where she owns 0% of the store. So that's pretty much what closed it down, because of the lie. They said that her and her lawyer said that they're going to go back and get 20% ownership of the company and come back and try to get their liquor license. The person that owns 100% of the company right now is a female, and she wasn't at the hearing.
So it's open, but they just can't sell alcohol there.
Kev, I can't hear you.
I said it's open, but they just can't sell alcohol there.
They can't sell alcohol, and right now, I think probably about 3 or 4 months ago, they got raided. So the police department, nor will the alderperson tell us what happened. But word on the streets is that they were accepting Crest cards. You can go in there and buy drugs or candy or beer or whatever with your Crest card. So that's one of the reasons. It's not necessarily the alcohol that they were selling, that the traffic had stopped in there. The fact that you can go there and you can use that Quest card to get whatever you want. So that's my understanding. One of the things that happened, during the raid. And no one can use Quest cards there right now either.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. So they're not.
Yeah, so they screwed themselves, in other words.
Okay. Well, I mean, small steps, right? Like ultimately, they get regulated.
Mission accomplished.
Okay. Mission accomplished. There you go.
Yeah,
Eric,
and they did it themselves. So we appreciate that.
She says the Somalis are smart enough to support their unions. Oh my gosh. A lot of them.
Wow.
Yeah, Eric could be funny. Yeah.
Look, I worked with a lot of them here. Erica, I worked with a large Somali population here. A lot of them can't speak English. So I don't know if you, and I'm sure up there, because at my daughter's graduation from the University of Minnesota, it was probably half Somalis. And I didn't
really?
Wow. Oh my goodness. It was, I'm telling you, it was a crack, because like I said, it's the University of Minnesota. So I'm thinking like, okay, it's gonna be a lot of white people, and it was a lot of Somalians. Like, I mean, and we all were, even my brother-in-laws who live up there was kind of like, man, we didn't know this what's going down at the U. There's a lot of white people
sanctuary
too.
City.
Yeah, but they got a stronghold over there. They've established a footprint. So I don't know if they support the union.
After years of being there, though. Yeah,
I don't know if they support the union.
20-some years.
Erica, I don't know if they support the union. I can't speak. She said a good organizer has been kicked out of many places. My cousin Mariah Johnson says, how do you get kicked out of doing a free service? As she's speaking towards Vince being volunteering in the school, she said, what's going on with the black-owned gas station on 8th Street? I think it's been sold to some more black people. I don't know this person, but
yeah, it was sold to another black person. Yeah.
Okay. Because I seen somebody putting up a post saying my parents really own a business now. And I was like, whoa, that sister didn't stay there long. She was like, I'm out of here. she sold that gas station quick, man. So I don't know. It's being, I guess, some more black good. I'm glad it's black people. She said, I was on the front line of many strikes last year, and the Somalis was deep out there. They are very educated and can speak English in Minnesota. Okay. They were out there with you for the union. And what job though? Like what are we talking about? Like what was the reason you said you was on strikes where? That's interesting that they were passionate about that. I'd like to know where the strikes, what companies, like what was at stake here? He was on the front line. Let's talk about that. But yeah, Vince, so you're against the merge. You said you're against Keith Avenue, but doesn't it seem like with a 50% truancy rate and all kinds of financial misappropriation, maybe MPS should just downsize? Because it doesn't seem like they can really they can't really run what they have. It seems like it's too big for them to handle.
Yeah, I think the first thing that they need to do is they need to look at central office. You go down there, man, that parking lot is full. So a lot of people are making bank. So we know in corporate America or any other company, the first place that they look at is non-essential staff. So teachers are essential to MPS being successful. The staff down at that central office are not, and they're failing the system by being incompetent.
Okay.
And the reason I would say now, I'm a graduate of North Division. I would say North Division, either they shut it down or they merge schools in there, because Kevin, I went up there and I watched it for 4 or 5 days. There are 5 or 6, 7, 8 buses that come up to that school, and probably 10 kids got out of all of them. And on the second floor was empty. So they definitely need to merge something up into that school because there's anybody there.
North Division has been in trouble for a very long time, right? And
yeah,
you know, I didn't go to North because by the time I came along, it was already East Side High. But from what I hear, people, especially people who are older than me, a couple generations before me, always talk about the quality of education that they received at North Division and how much they revered their time there, and some of the educators that were there who really reached out to kids. But man, for the last 25 years, I would say 30.
I was down at that fact, Kevin, because Val Phillips, she graduated from there. There's a lot of prominent people that graduated from North Division. I just, the alumni got pissed off at me because I made a statement that that in other communities the alumni doesn't allow the system to fail, but the alumni at North Division have allowed that school to fail miserably. I mean, we got Howard Fuller out there raising $31 million to put in his name on a building when the school that educated him is falling down and you're not coming to their rescue. That just baffles me.
Yeah, but that North Division is a different time and place because I don't think but you'd be probably better qualified to answer this than me. I think 53206 has changed. I think that surrounding,
but that doesn't.
That area,
for me, Kevin, that doesn't mean that
is a risky area. I'm just saying, like, so those kids that come there, that go to that school, are from some. I mean, I worked in North Division for a couple years, and it was pretty challenging in terms of, like you said, kids not being there. We had that big, huge, beautiful building was over half empty on a daily basis, and they don't even use the third floor for classes anymore. It's like meetings and stuff like that. So, yeah, and the basement's
when
empty.
I went there last year.
Go ahead.
Yeah. When I went there, probably was it February, March, April, summertime in there. I went there, and I was up on the second floor. I'm looking around. I said, "Where the kids at? Ain't nobody on the second floor at all." You said the third floor was empty. Wasn't nobody on the second floor, and that's where they said they held all the classes. I went to one classroom. They had 4 students in one classroom, and that was it.
It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. But like when you say Vale Phillips, that's a whole different. Like, shout out to if you graduated from North Division, shout out to you. But in the last 30 years, like who's come from there? I don't want to insult anybody just because I went to King. Well, I'm just saying it's been since the 90s when the brothers snuck the camera in there and it was on like NBC Dateline where they were in there shooting dice. Like even in the 80s when I was young, North was known as a school you really don't want to go there. Like it was just like, nah, man, I ain't going to North Division. That's scandalous. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they've had this jacket for over 30 years where it's just been, it seems like the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s were like their golden age. And then once the 80s hit and crack hit, it was like, up.
It was right.
You nailed it right there, Kevin.
Okay.
Once crack hit, that was it. That was it. For that whole area, it ruined it. And nobody stepped in to do anything. So it's a product of the environment of the system. I mean, we didn't make crack cocaine. It came from wherever, and they put it in that community. That was in the years that, I was in the Navy. I came back from leave, before I left here. I hadn't even heard of crack cocaine. When I came back, the whole fucking neighborhood everybody was my family, sisters, everybody was on crack cocaine. I left going back to the Navy. I was at the airport. I was in tears because what the fuck happened to the city?
And especially that area, like for real, they got it honest down there. I never, and just because Atkinson was right, like at the top of 53206, I was able to see, that whole decline too. Like, oh, what happened? Because Atkinson used to be businesses from top to bottom. Like it was like a strip that you could cruise, like barbershops, bars, restaurants, stores, boutiques, everything. And now it's just there. She said security, janitorial services. I even went live from the front line out there. Jason said, yeah, but they don't really deal with Black Americans like that. They don't. Some will refer to them as tether Negroes. They're not foundational Black Americans, right? And so it's that's still along the lines of we were talking about, that Minnesota is different and that brothers up there move differently, and they do. There's a lot of money in the Twin Cities in terms of Fortune 500 companies and the investment that you see in the community. It ain't burnt out, cracked out like a lot of main thoroughfares in Milwaukee. Like, development is huge. Like, since I was there for the first time in 1995, right, which is 29 years ago, it don't even look the same. Like, they have the trains now. They got stuff is torn down. It's new buildings. I'm like, well, when they do that? Like, it's different. So a lot of progress up there, but unfortunately, it's another place where we don't really get to partake in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's we don't just, for some reason, there's a common denominator where there's dysfunction, and it's us. Like, anywhere some struggle and you look, it's a group of black people sitting there like, help us, please. Unless you're in like Appalachia or something, you're in South, at them trailer parks out there in Arizona and South Dakota and Montana where they get real po out there on the plains. He said, this is Jason. He said, that's why people feel they work too hard to lose anything. You know what? Once again, I don't put Milwaukee up as the greatest place on the earth to live, but I just think sometimes you leave here and you be like, damn, I could have just stayed at the crib. You know what I'm saying? For real. Like, and no, there people's counting. I don't care if you don't know, you ain't been here, you ain't been there. I get it. I get that you can find some cities where but it's never the city though. It's never the inner city. The inner city in every major urban place in America, especially the communities we live in, is all fucked up. I don't know, unless they're gentrifying it and it's getting better. So, and that's a different conversation on when you want to really sit down and say, what the fuck is wrong with us? What's wrong with black people? Like, that's
the conversation we should have.
Can't get right. And that's probably one that's coming up, because we need to have this conversation prior to this election, because if your boy Trump get in there, I got the feeling it's always cold on us. I just think it's going to be a little bit colder. So yeah, we probably do need to look at our community and say, what the hell is going on with us? Like, how come we can't get our shit together?
Hell yeah, it's going to be cold. He going to want retribution. He calling them shithole countries and what they call Puerto Rico, a whole island floating full of garbage.
Yeah, garbage island.
It's just sad.
Hey, did you see the rally? Did you see the rally he had where dude was talking about him and his black friend was carving watermelons and shit was,
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I thought it was in Pennsylvania. It was in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, it was a Madison Square Garden.
Oh my God, I
want to know, why do they think black folks like watermelon though? Because I don't like watermelon.
I actually like watermelon, but because of them, I have a stigma about eating it in front of white people. I'm telling y'all, listen, when I was in North Dakota, every day we went to the cafeteria, there was watermelon, right? And some of them days, I really wanted a piece of watermelon. But I was like, I'm not going to do it because I refuse to be sitting somewhere tearing down on his watermelon. There's a white dude sitting there laughing like, look at him. He knew it was going to get him eventually. So I love watermelon.
But what's the sad part? What the sad part about that is that they try to put a lot of stigmas on us when it really be them. Don't you think white folks ain't eating a lot of goddamn fried chicken now?
They eat watermelon too, Dion. They eat
they eat what? So they try to put stigmas on us. Like, it's just insane.
We call it watermelon. They call it melon. I'm eating melons, right? And black people say, "Oh, got some watermelon, dog." And we don't usually do cantaloupe and shit. Like, we just the watermelon is the one that we just we fucks with.
Yeah, see, I like cantaloupe and honeydew melon and shit like that. I don't like no cantaloupe because those seeds remind me of little roaches.
You mean you don't like watermelon?
I just don't fuck with it.
You mean you don't like watermelon?
I don't like watermelon. Yeah, I don't like watermelon because those seeds remind me of roaches. But I eat I eat cantaloupe and honeydew melon and and other little shit.
I think you like them because they got white seeds. I think you like them better because they got white seeds.
Boy, you a man, Ken. Ken, you always
he won't even eat a watermelon because it got black seeds. And you niggas look like roaches. Erica Hunt said it may be on the real, though. She said it may be true they don't like Black Americans, but they understand the value of coming together with positively impact the community. Once you said they don't like Black Americans, I was done. I could give a shit about them.
That cut me off.
I don't care if they the greatest organizers in the world. If it's fuck me, it's fuck you too. I don't listen. No.
Hell yeah.
No, and I will say the experiences that I had with them, I was there as a helper. So I was cool with some of them. There's a tremendous language barrier, so it was more like hello, and it was just like saying, "Hey, how you doing?" I spoke with them through a translator, but you're right. They didn't really fraternize a lot with the foundational Black American employees at my job. So, but they would come holler at me when they need to get on energy assistance or to get some food share. They come with that translator. Can you ask Mr. Bonds how I can fill out for housing?
But you know what though? The Somalis, the Ethiopians, and I think the people in Uganda, their blood is tainted because if you read The Destruction of the Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams, Arabs had a part in the slave trade too.
Absolutely.
That's why their features is more Arab than Black.
Okay.
You know, when you start getting in Nigeria and Congo and, you know, a little bit inner, but coastally, you know what I'm saying? Like those people like Sudan and Ethiopia and stuff, their bloodline has been tainted. You know, that's why they have more Arab features than Black features.
But they feel like ours is tainted because Mr. Charlie ran up in the quarters all the time. They feel like our bloodline is tainted. But, you know, that's a whole other show too. Cuz is saying it's the system base of America that we always have to go up against. It's a racist power structure. Definitely, you fight an uphill battle. He said, Kev, nobody I know who left Milwaukee on real shit ain't thought about moving back, fam. Be it here, Texas, etc. You're wrong, actually, because I know some people who moved and came back. So, Ewok, if it works, it works. I know some people who've moved more than once and came back.
Milwaukee the shit.
I mean, to me it is, but you know, listen, if you choose to move, that is fine. Like, I don't have a problem with you at all. Go ahead and, you know, manifest destiny. That's your right as an American. Like Dion said, he loved to travel. I don't love traveling. But I don't, you know, I don't think it's true that people don't move and come back. A lot of people come back. They say, man, I got in a situation out there. Had to move around. Had to come back home. It happens all the time.
Hell yeah. You go around there fucking around, don't know them people laws.
Well,
motherfuckers.
Erica Hunt said that's wrong. That's what's wrong with Black people. We don't care. Well, we shouldn't care about people who don't care about us, Erica. I don't understand your reasoning. If you are living in a community and when I come around, y'all ain't fucking with me, why should I be empathetic towards you? Why should I be like, damn, I wish they liked me? Man, come on, man, accept me, y'all. Or should I just be like, man, fuck y'all then? I mean, that's my mindset. I didn't say I was a saint, but I don't see how do I love somebody who doesn't love me back? Like, to me, that's a waste of time. Like, I'm not going to waste my time talking to you. It's like why I don't talk to, like, when somebody like Scott or like a racist white person, I usually don't engage in deep conversations with them because I know they're racist. Like, why would I do that? What did I ask you about Orlando? I said, why are you talking to him? Not like you can't talk to who you want to, but why waste my time? Marcus Clean Cut.
I can't talk to him about politics. I won't do that no more. I won't.
Hold on. Marcus Clean Cut Kronos. How you doing, my brother? Welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in, checking us out. Share the show. Everybody share the show. He said Minnesota is not so much a racist state. Many individuals hide their racism, but it's not a segregated state. Your neighbor could be any nationality. A lot of Black men do move differently because a lot of them having with so much, I think he said they had to deal with so much racism. I talked about the diversity. I talked about that there may be white people. Listen, coming from here to there, my thing was I had gone to school with a majority of Black people, except for when I went to middle school. And that was part of the 220 kind of forced busing thing. But I mean, and then I went to King where there was a lot of white people, but they didn't associate with us. We didn't even see them. Most of the time, they wasn't even on the same floor with us. Right. And some needs to be said about, listen, let me tell you something. When I went to King, black people was on the second and third floor. IB class was on the first. They was on the first floor. So there's tons of white people that you can show me in my yearbook, and I said, I've never seen that dude a day in my life. Same grade, everything. They kept us separated, man. I'm telling you, I don't know if it was the IB classes or what, but it was just like, no, you say, oh, dude, go here. It's like, you go here. Only reason I know that to be true is because I took Latin one year, and that was like an honors class. So I was on the first floor, and I'm like, damn, it was all white people. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So, yeah. So, but my point is, when I got to Minneapolis, those brothers had been going to school with white people. Like, they dealt with white girls. Like, it was the norm for them. I was kind of like an old Alabama. Like, ooh, you better be careful around that white woman. I knew absolutely nothing.
Stop looking at her.
Kamar, on the real. Listen, one of my partners from the Twin Cities, he said, dude, you Mr. Super Revolutionary Thug until you get around a white woman, then you get scared. I thought you was from Milwaukee, not Alabama. I was looking at him. He like, yeah, man, old girl, I'm not messing with that white woman. She ain't setting me up. I was straight. Like,
hell yeah. That's what my grandfather told me. That's why I ain't never had no white nectar. I ain't never had no white pussy a day in my life.
Well, we don't need to go
Puerto
there.
Rican nor Mexican.
To go there. We don't need.
Yeah, I ain't never had it.
We ain't
and I don't want it either.
Talk about nobody's sexual history, Dion. You gotta get vile with it. He has to be hood with the shit. Jason says it's not the point we care, but why should everyone else come to our house and look down on us? Yeah, I'm just not into like reciprocating hate. Like, I'm not. If you ain't fucking with me, that's fine. But get away from me. I don't want to be around you. Like, I don't have no love for you. He's saying he's clearing up his statement, have dealt with racism. Yeah, they deal with it all the time, man. I'm up there. I'm telling y'all, I'm up there to see my son. I'm driving. White people smashing past me because I'm not driving fast enough on the 2-lane highway, throwing the bird at me and everything. And I'm like, all right now. All right, be careful. You fucking with. Don't bring the Capitol Drive out of me. And we don't have that shit up here because our white people just stay the fuck away from us. They don't even deal with us.
Exactly.
You know, they don't even deal with us. So it's a whole different. But most states are. If you go to Chicago, brothers move different, especially with black progressiveness.
Hell yeah.
With black progressiveness in politics, they move different because they got a power structure down there. I mean, it's in a flux just like every other major city. But it's Detroit, they move differently. You know what I'm saying? So you know, what they say, variety is the spice of life. Ewok said he was at Marshall dusting them white cheerleaders off. Okay. Dion had to make it nasty, right? Like, he had to make it sexual.
Hey, but you know what though?
You got a lot of sexual.
I agree with you, Kev.
Like, repression. Like, you're a very repressed person, brother. You got to get it off. Go ahead, man.
I agree with you. Because I was so Saturday, they had the Truth Summit. Because, you know, I listened to the Truth Radio. And then we went down there, you know, Sherwin was down there. And they was talking about inclusiveness. And see, that's where we fuck up at, I feel. Because how we sit up there and say them African motherfuckers and them Somalis don't like us. When some going, look when Trump was in office and the kids was drowning, and we like them, the babies are being taken from their mom and they got them in these concentration camps and the children. We always going for somebody else's defense. But when it comes time for them to talk for niggas, shit, you hear cricket. Ain't no Asians coming for us, ain't no Mexicans, but we quick to be like, why are y'all treating them like that? You know, we always wanted, I don't like that about us, man. I feel like that makes us weak, you know what I'm saying? Even though they say, well, in this fight, we need adversaries. But where the adversaries be when we need them, though? You know what I'm saying? When they need us, we right there with our hand on their ass. We wearing the gay flag and saying that a person should be able to love who they love. And, you know, when the Mexicans coming over here, they should be allowed to work and all that. Like, you know, but when it's time for us, we get kicked in the ass. The police slap us upside the head or something. But what did he do? That's the... What did he do? Motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? like we always gonna have that flaw within us. You know what I'm saying? We always gonna have that flaw within us, and you know, we go out there and try to campaign right now. We've been talking about the people over there in Haiti, over there in Springfield, Ohio, but let something go wrong. We ain't gonna hear nothing from them Haitians. Them motherfuckers gonna cheep, cheep. Cause you know, they took their little, you know, now they gonna fly under the radar. Then, you know, they gonna be in Springfield and there's gonna be a couple police killers. Cause you know, you heard what Donald Trump said. He said he just wants the police to have a good hour. You know, just a
he did in
good
fact
hour,
say
motherfuckers.
Yeah, he said that.
You know what I'm saying? But like we said, you know, people, they don't believe Fat Meat Greasy. They talking about, well, he gave me a check and my life was better. And, you know, gas is cheaper. And that's just stupid shit. And you know what, like you said, okay, when you first started the show off, these people are not coming with no factual basis. Because like I said, I could go back to Reaganomics. I could go back to Nixon. The Republicans have no policy. They have none whatsoever. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the reason, and I found out this the other day, the reason they give billionaires and trillionaires all those major tax cuts, because they don't want to upset those guys, and those guys say, hey, fuck that. We're not going to produce anything else in the USA. We're going to take it overseas. So to appease these guys and to make them happy, you know, they get in them tax cuts. But Elon Musk is on the path to be the world's first trillionaire. What you need to do with all that money? You know what I'm saying? Come on now, but that shit crazy though. I'm about to mute you because I gotta let this trailer down and shit. I don't want it to be echoing in the phone and shit.
Yeah, don't lose
but
that,
that's how that shit goes.
Government job. You better focus, boy. You hold that. You better hold that goddamn plow.
Don't do that, kid. Last week you killed me when I was like, I'm a criminal. You said you ain't no motherfucking criminal. You a lunch lady.
How did you say
and
that?
Guess what? I gotta go to MPS in the morning.
There you go.
And I applied to be the engineer because they hired for entry level for engineer. So yeah, get my good government job and try to hold on to it.
Get that money, boy. You better get it. Ace, you calling back? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm back, man. I'm back.
Hey, let me say something more.
He ain't even give me no ticket.
All right. Go ahead, Kamar.
Hey, you know, like on the flip side of fear mongering, like when I say that, I ain't saying that no slight to nobody that think no kind of way, right? Because see, it's a flip side to all that shit he's saying. Like he's saying about the dictatorship and all that. Like he could, like I said, he could be saying that just to rally the motherfuckers that's on white people that may want this racism shit. Like he rallying them to come vote for him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I really don't know. Like, I can't just say that I really believe 100% that this is what he gonna do. Again, these politicians, they always say what they gonna do, and then they don't do that shit. That's some shit you would say to your people who you want to vote for you, and then don't do shit.
Yeah, appeal to your base. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So he appealing to his base. I ain't saying nobody wrong for thinking like that either. Don't get me wrong, so don't call in bashing me and shit. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It's another angle to look at, too.
Even if they do, we're going to be ready for you if you call in and try to bang on the witch doctor. Get in your ass.
Hey, I'll bang back. I get that foolishness some entertainment. Foolishness some entertainment. Shit.
We done seen that before. We done seen what's going on this motherfucker, boy. Mama Jenkins said, she said you should have been there when my brother was there in the late 60s. We went up there and showed the hell out. We brought our black asses back home. We always went to Fargo. Well, first of all, let me say I had an incredible time. Listen, my college experience was second to none. I didn't go to a HBCU. I always say I went to a HWCU. And I played ball. I had a great time. We partied. We went to Fargo. We went to Sioux Falls. We went to Billings. If there was a rumor of a party anywhere, we was there. I had a great time.
Yeah,
but I did.
Seen you in Mankato, Negro.
Right. That's what I was just telling Kamar. I forgot. Me and Ace, we crossed paths at a bar, and it's like, oh, because I knew Ace from middle school, hadn't seen him since middle school, And so we were in college. He said, "Oh shit, that's," and it was just, we had a crazy night that night. It was wild, but I'm just saying, I recognized the differences in there and home, between there and home. That's all. I'm not, and I think a lot of times what the point that we got to make as Black people is, life is what you make it. Because I can sit around and complain about shit and whine about what I can't do, or I can get busy. Mm-hmm. And you know, sometimes when you got to get busy, some of us ain't willing to do that. My partner, shout out to Westside Zeladon, who always say the first thing you need to do when you find yourself in a hole is stop digging. And so, you know, I believe that too. That's why I feel like the perseverance that we've demonstrated in this country, even though some people like Scott will discount us and talk about we don't have this and we don't have that, and we've persevered through everything that's been thrown at us. Everything that's been thrown at us, we've persevered through it. My brother Marcus is saying, I totally get what she's talking about, Kev. I'm from St. Louis, and I lived in Minnesota for 15 years, and I've now lived in Milwaukee for 20. He said, I went to school in Atlanta and have dealt with more racism here in Milwaukee than anywhere else. That's interesting. I don't know that I dealt with more racism than I did in North Dakota, or that I did in Western Minnesota, because the Twin Cities is in the eastern part of the state. When you go south, or you go west, or you go north, it is hunkified. And they gonna,
hey, Kev,
they gonna let you know too. Go ahead, Ace.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. We was just having this conversation earlier, me and Cuz, because I was like, "Damn, dude," and I told him we didn't really face no real racism. I mean, you had it, but it was subtle. But we was talking about coming up in Westline, dude. It was every ethnicity in the book ended there. Our whole friend group was different nationalities, from Mexican to Asian to white to everything. I didn't really notice no real racism. Once again, like you said, until I went to the West Coast, then I seen this shit is for real. This shit is for real. I mean, it was coming from Mexicans. It would come from white people. I mean, goddamn, I was like I was in a movie. I ain't never seen this before. So I was dumbfounded, man. Our level of racism here is nowhere near what you get when you out of state. But I will say this. Living out of state in different states, we as Black people, we aren't very civil to each other here compared to other places. Do you get what I'm saying? Because we was having a conversation earlier too, just like it was a brother, man. I guess I cut him off by mistake. And I put my hand, I was like, my bad. Cuz was like, hey, man, don't be doing that. He gonna take that in some other kind of way. But you see how you gotta move here. You know, so this is the thing that's unappealing to African Americans. So they gotta realize what's going on. We have to learn to treat each other better, man. And that's just what it is. We're so aggressive when we see each other here. Or if there's something small, they turn to something, they blow it out of proportion.
That's so it's not just here though. But we're like that in every city. We're like that with each other.
I mean, it is.
Well, we was talking about the difference between. We was talking about like, okay, like here how it was years ago when we was young, and then you move, you hit it, you know what I mean, and say you somewhere like Green Bay, and then you come back. And we was talking about how the climate done changed in the city. You know what I mean? With the personalities of the community and shit. You know what I mean? Well, what he was saying was like, you know, he had made a mistake and cut somebody off, right? And then he was like, oh, my bad. And I was like, you know, like what we see is, oh, my bad. What he sees was handed. You know what I mean? You can't hear us in the car, but you know what I mean? Like, dog, be careful. Right. You know what I mean? Because these motherfuckers, they, with their road rage, they shooting first and all that shit. And you know what I mean? You don't know what's going on with these motherfuckers.
A lot of it, too, Kamar's changes because we've actively aged out. So you talk about the changing of the personalities, it's because it ain't us in the streets no more. It ain't us out here. So yeah, we look at it like them goddamn young people acting a fool, just like they used to look at us like these young niggas crazy as hell. And so you all automatically kind of side eye them and say, "Man, these young people crazy." I don't know that a lot of these dudes are as crazy as some of the dudes I actually grew up with. Like I knew some real.
Find out. I'll tell you that.
No, I knew some dudes who would get down.
Yeah,
And so a lot of these dudes now are soft, and especially the young dudes. We got to understand our young people are heavily emo. Listen to their music. Like look at their culture. They're really emotional. And they're taught to stay in, be in touch with your emotions. It's okay for you to cry. It's okay for you to, be sensitive. We didn't get that from the men who raised us. It was like, nah, man, you better straighten your damn face up. Like you ain't supposed to be crying. Like we were taught to be soft was to be vulnerable, and to be vulnerable was to be a victim. And these young boys don't get that same kind of training nowadays. They because a lot of them are raised by females. No shot at women, because if that brother ain't there to help you with them kids, you got to do what you got to do. But you tend to be who is in your environment. So a lot of these youngsters, if you watch them, they've adapted to some real feminine ways because they've been watching their mama and her friends and their aunties and stuff their whole life. So even how they talk, like, like smacking their lips and shit. It's like, bruh, come on, man. Talk to me, like it's just certain things I noticed. So you're right, it has changed. Mama Jenkins said Boston and Milwaukee are similar. I've heard that before. I have heard that. My cousin Jason says, man, we still Public Enemy, family.
Yeah, that's all by design too, Kev. It's all by design.
I don't know if it's by design, but I know we play into it a lot. So we can be our own worst enemies. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. I want to initiate conversations. That's why I said I'd like to talk to a brother if he can be sensible and have a conversation with me about why he supports Trump, and don't go into the Kool-Aid and all this kind of crazy tricknology and politics. If he can do that, I'd love to have that conversation. Marcus is in the chat room. He said, also, I'm very much aware MPS is having a meeting to terminate the commissioner athletics in reference to not completing the paperwork for a couple of schools. So there's a petition for the removal of the commissioner, Bobby Kelsey. Yeah, well, hey, if the job ain't done. And that wasn't the only there was controversy with the whole when there was a big brawl at King and I want to say Pulaski. There was a fight and they gave these suspensions like out of the blue and nobody knew what was going on. Like, so yeah, the ball has been dropped and the quality of the game, that's a whole other show. I love MPS sports. I played football in the city. But we played a different kind of football back then. It was a little bit more accountability to it. He said it was King and Tech. Okay, it was King and Tech. I knew King was involved. But yeah, she should lose her job. Like for you to hurt. Look, if kids and they got a 2-year playoff ban, and think of all the work those kids weren't on the streets. They were out there working hard in camp, going to practice every day. Some of them really just fighting to be a part of something. And this is how you reward them. You should lose your job. You should lose your job. And I've heard that she was played in the WNBA and she had this tremendous resume. Well, you you didn't do a good job here. So we're gonna have to let you go. It says security gonna escort you to the car. My brother Jason, he says we have to be more solution oriented and more black agenda based. We won't demand that nobody come up with a black agenda. That's what I was saying. Instead of us arguing about whether Kamala was black or not, I feel like somebody should have said, fuck what your race is. Do you have a black agenda? Which is the same thing I would say to Trump. You say all this racist shit and you do all this dumb shit. If you really wanted black people to vote for you, bro, come up with an agenda. Because that's something that would have made me vote for him.
Niggas gonna call you a coon.
Hey, you call me what you want.
They're gonna be calling you a coon if you go talk to them.
We gotta stop spending with the people. We gotta start spending with us. The problem is we don't own anything. Every time we spend our dollars, we spend in their community. The Jews, the white, the Indians, the Asian. I think a dollar said it might last 30 minutes in our community versus the Jewish.
Anybody who's ever came and presented the idea of economic boycotts to Black America has failed miserably. Because brothers got to have their Jordans. We got to have, our fits, man, because if you don't feel good on the inside, a lot of times you just try to put something over the outside, Like you say, you didn't put no new motor in the car, you just painted it. How long did you think you was going to be able to run it? Mariah says they social crazy. They do it and run to social media. Social media has destroyed young people's ability to relate to each other on a personal level. Like these young kids are on dating apps. Remember when we was young, if you was on a dating app, you was like an old person who couldn't find somebody, right? Right. Like why this dude on a date and you going on a dating site, love connection and shit.
That was the booty line though on my mama though. I scored.
But
when I say what?
Yeah, it's a different world.
You was on the 100.7 booty line.
It was a different.
Man, the booty line used to juke.
Look, we got to get out of here.
Come in.
We got to get out of here, but I do want to say this before I close, because we'll pick up back Wednesday. But I just had my 23rd wedding anniversary on Sunday, and I was
congratulations.
Yeah, and I was thinking like, who would put up with my fool ass for 23 years? So shout out to my wife Sheila. And I had put some stuff up on Facebook, but I took it down because it had like music and stuff hooked to it. So I didn't want to but yeah, 23 years, man. I'm an empty nester. I got 2 grown kids. I'm very grateful. I believe in family. I believe in the power of the Black family. So it was a humbling day for me to be like, man, this long. And then the second thing is, where the hell time go? Shit, it seemed like this just happened yesterday. That shit was a long time ago. So shout out to my wife.
I thought you was getting a dog, Kev. You told me you was getting a dog.
All in good time. Just be cool. I'm going to get Leroy. I'm going to get me a dog, and I'm going to name him Leroy. He is coming. But, you know, like I said, it's my son's first year being gone, so we can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater yet. But I will have me a dog.
I can bring my little dogs over.
I don't do little dogs. I hate little mutt dogs, ankle biters. I don't like them.
We can have a day at the park with the dog.
Not the little dog. Homo. No, not the little dog, right? And make sure you say no Diddy and say pause when you say, can we hang out with our dogs at the park? Motherfuckers be spreading rumors. You hear Kevin and Dion? Them niggas going to the park with their dogs.
Doggy dates and shit.
It ain't that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'll say this one thing about our community and the level of appreciation that we should have of anybody that's been in a marriage for 23 years or longer or less, but over some period of time, because that's what's missing in our community. We look at other cultures, that's the one dynamic that keeps them together, because if you got a 2-family income and you guys can send your kids to college, that's missing in our community. And if we had more couples that could survive a marriage and stay together and work together, and these families would start coming together, and we can do a lot more for our children, would be the difference maker.
I believe that too. I believe, yes.
I agree, Vince.
I agree too, Vince. And that's why I'm saying I was tripping like, man, and you know, the proof is in the pudding, where you could look at over the years where we've been able to hold each other down when one of us wasn't, you know, necessarily flying financially like but it's that thing about marriage of that great compromise and then that great understanding. And it's hard to get to that shit. And I tell people all the time, if you want to get married, get some counseling first, because this shit it's the hardest thing you've ever undertaken. I promise you. I've never met a brother yet who done got married that didn't come back and say, "Kid, this shit hard, man." It's rough. It's rough. Mama Jason said, I think that comes from not being financially literate plays a big factor in how we spend our money. He was talking about the economic boycotts. He said, love, man, keep going, big brother. Mama Jenkins said, keep it going. 43 years for us. Damn. Just when you think you up, Kamar, somebody trumps you, right? When you think you done some shit, they like, boy, you just a baby. You got something going this week, Kamar?
Same old same, man. We got the Wellness Our Way this Saturday. In the House of Vitality the rest of the week.
Okay. Now, what is Saturday? What day is Saturday?
The second.
The first.
Okay. The second.
Second.
Okay, because I got a birthday coming up November 4th. And so I want to see if that fell in line. But I don't know. I think I might shoot out of town this weekend. I might go see my son. He's been balling, man. He's been going crazy. So I might have to go check him out. Oh, yeah. I put his latest big.
Man, that should be fun.
He had a big 45-yard bomb he caught on 4th and 14. I put that video up on Facebook. Y'all don't be hating. I know y'all fathers out there who boys playing ball be kind of hating. Don't be hating, man. Go ahead and get that boy his props, man. He's a true freshman. and he's averaging like 35 yards a catch right now, right? So I don't know if people who never played football understand what that means. That means every time they throw him the ball, it's 35 yards.
35 yards.
So shout out to Lil Kev, man. Hey, Vince, I'm glad you rocked with us. Ace, it's always good to talk to you. Dion, you always, Outlaw, you always bring a great perspective, man. So I appreciate you, brothers, man.
Yes, sir.
Y'all
hey, Orlando on too. You should go over there and fuck with him.
No,
I might go fuck with him. I'm bored.
No. I don't need to see. I don't need to know that if a bear shits in the woods, does he wipe his ass with a fluffy white rabbit? I don't need to know. Because I ain't got no business in the woods watching no bear take a shit. You feel me? Hey, man. No, man. It's all love, man. I keep telling everybody one thing about Outlaw Radio is everybody who's involved is a doer. You don't get a whole lot of people who rock with this show who just talk shit and spin their wheels. It's like Kamar says, you have to walk the walk and talk the talk, man. But I wholeheartedly believe that if your criticism outweighs your contribution to the community, then you're a coon. I see y'all Wednesday, man. Peace and love. Keep your head on the swivel.
Peace.
Peace out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.